This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 19 today with the 6 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
The death toll from a massive earthquake and 2 aftershocks in Afghanistan has risen to over 800. Military helicopters have been brought in to try and transport some of the victims, with 2,500 injured. Reporter Edward Godfrey says the country's Taliban government is pleading for international help.
Some of that is forthcoming from India and China. There is a huge job there for rescue teams and for locals. It's an awful reminder of the country's biggest quake in 2023 that killed some 1,500 people.
A local tomato grower at the centre of a biosecurity crackdown has had restrictions lifted after more than a year. PIRSA has removed orders imposed on SA Tomato Proprietary Limited in Virginia. The restrictions were originally put in place to contain a tomato virus outbreak. Shadow Primary Industries Minister Nicola Centofanti says common sense has prevailed.
This decision is long overdue recognition that growers shouldn't be unfairly burdened with unworkable restrictions when a disease can't be eradicated. Our tomato industry is resilient, they're innovative, and they're essential to South Australia's food supply chain.
There's been another car fire. A vehicle was reported burning on Port Road at Welland. The alarm raised around 4 a.m. The Cheaper Medicines Bill has passed Parliament and will come into effect from the 1st of January. It means prescription drugs listed on the PBS will cost $25, the lowest level in 20 years. Pensioners and concession card holders will pay $7.70 per script until 2030. Well, a Broncos star is making headlines interstate over a prank involving a toilet. Andrea Crothers has the story.
Reece Walsh posting a bizarre video to social media of himself drinking water from a toilet.
They reckon there's a new form of recovery to recover the muscles. This toilet water.
The Brisbane Broncos have responded in a statement saying Walsh was renovating his home and had installed a brand new toilet and a new bathroom which hadn't been used, calling it a poor attempt at humour and that no one should take the video seriously or act upon its advice. It's not the first time Walsh's humour has landed him in hot water. 3 months ago, he apologised after a video of him punching a friend went viral.
Cyndi Lauper's final ever tour has come to a close. The singer bringing out Cher for a rendition of Girls Just Wanna Have Fun during her swan song at the Hollywood Bowl. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Call Gliderol now. Order a new door with operator before the end of September and receive 2 extra handsets.
Sturt's Tom Lewis has won the 2025 Magarey Medal. The midfielder says it's great recognition, but he's got a lot more to prove after coming back from serious injury.
It's not going to be the end, but it's going to be a great chapter. It's all part of a great story, and you've got your setbacks, but you've also got your highs as well. So this has been a massive high for me, obviously, and it's going to take a while to get over it, I think.
Sturt faced the Tigers on Sunday in the Sandful semi-finals. And 4 South Australian footy greats were inducted into the Football Hall of Fame last night, including Andrew Pays. Well, the Crows trained last night ahead of Thursday's first final against Collingwood. Josh Rochelle has been ruled out of a comeback in the qualifier. Alex de Minaur has been flying the Aussie flag at the US Open. He's through to the quarters after a straight sets win over Leandro Reedy.
Happy with the performance. Should have been a dangerous matchup. The way he's been playing with a lot of confidence, I knew that going in, and I'm very happy with the way I kind of went about my business. I stayed focused. I knew I had a job to get done, and I'm happy that I was able to get through in straight sets.
While Iga Swiatek is through to the final 8 in the women's draw, and former heavyweight boxer Joe Bugner has died at the age of 75. Bugner held the British, Commonwealth and European heavyweight titles and faced Muhammad Ali twice, including for a world title in 1975. That's 5AA Sport. Now the 5AA forecast, and it's mostly sunny and 19 today. A shower or two tomorrow, 17. Thursday, partly cloudy, 18. And Friday, 19. Right now, it's 9 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Phantom Outdoor Blinds.
What are you doing?
Oh, just writing a jingle for Phantom Screens. OK, well, tell them they're up to 12 metres wide, yeah?
Really big?
Tell them they block the wind and the rain.
Blocks the wind.
And blocks sun and insects.
Really shady and gross things can't get in.
Tell them there's no posts.
Uninterrupted views.
Phantom Outdoor Blinds. Blocks out most things, just not your annoying mates. phantomscreens.com.au.
And here is your room. Have a nice day.
This can't be the place. Is that the bed? Oh, gross!
Nothing like a bug symphony to set the mood. Luckily for you, I can't play any instruments. Next time, chat with an RAA travel agent so you don't have to hang with Sir Chirps a lot over here.
Book an appointment with RAA travel agents and elevate your holiday. RAA, it's better to be a member.
Breaking news. Chai latte and a chocolate donut is good for you. Maybe not when it comes to calories, but it is good for the soul. Cafe Hoppability in Fullerton is operated by Holistic Care SA and provides meaningful and rewarding jobs for keen workers who live with disability. And because you're doing a generous deed, you can grab a second donut guilt-free. Next lunch break, do something that's good for you and others. Cafe Hoppability Fullerton, just up from the roundabout.
Break-ins and home invasions concern us all, but you don't have to be a victim. Swan has you covered with a complete lineup of easy-to-install home security solutions, like video doorbells with AI voice assistants, Max Ranger's strong and long-range wireless systems, and wired CCTV systems with 24/7 recording. Now is the right time to invest in a new Swan security solution with 20% off selected products, but only until September 7. Visit your local Swan retailer or swann.com.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Here's who you can support around Adelaide. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by Luba House. Anderson Solicitors have been supporting South Australians with legal expertise and advice for over 50 years. Anderson Solicitors. Help when you need it. The state government is rolling out 3-year-old preschool from 2026 because the sooner they start, the further they can go. Learn more at flyingstart.sa.gov.au. 5AA, supporting local business.
And welcome to Tuesday on 5AA Breakfast, the 2nd of September, the second day we've got Crows finals tickets to give away on the show. We'll talk about that very, very early because you can get involved in that one for a long period. Yesterday, we found Adelaide's smartest Crows fan. Today, we're looking for Adelaide's most colourful Crows fan. We'll get into that in just a moment. Also coming up on the program today, we're going to talk about some research that's being done on keeping people in their homes for longer as they age. Now, this is an important component of the whole conversation about aged care places, about our hospitals, and so forth. So we're going to get into that with Professor Gillian Harvey from Flinders University just after 6:30 today. Big announcement from Jetstar this morning about flights into Adelaide. We'll talk about that. Phil Curry on the program from the nation's capital, from the Australian Financial Review. We've got a jury trial, and something I think is going to be really interesting. Mike Steer, the Executive Director of SARDI, is going to be in the studio, and that's going to be one where we just say, folks, if you've got an algal bloom question that no one's asked, be the person to ask it. Mike Steer will be sitting here in the studio, the government's algal bloom expert, and you can ask any question you like. 8223 0000 will be the number. As always, right throughout the morning, you can text us on the Police Home Care text line. David Penberthy, good morning to you.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning. Will, we got a mountain of texts yesterday after our Breaking at 8 with Rebecca Sharkey about those figures for the My Aged Care home packages. And, you know, I reckon the one person, aside from all the, you know, real people with real family and home-based concerns about, you know, needing some help with the cleaning or some help with the gardening or maintenance in order for them to stay in their houses. Chris Picton, I reckon he would have been listening to that can. I'm just banging him out against the brick wall.
They're getting no help whatsoever.
Well, you know, this is the problem. All the ramping and clogging in hospital EDs, so much of that is because of there's so many long stay beds because you can't get into aged care but you can't get home care. I mean, if there's almost 250,000 people waiting to get packages, and you're someone who is immobile, or only temporarily immobile, or maybe just recovering from something, but you can't get any help around the house. The fact that the feds have failed to deliver those packages, all of that is just another form of pressure on the public hospital system, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because there's backlogs and issues everywhere, traffic jams everywhere you look in that system. It's absolutely ludicrous. Just saw a text. I was a bit taken aback by this, hearing it at Mel's News. Rob on the police home care text line says Valet Aussie Joe Bugner, who died. He's just 75 years of age, taken too young. One of the most colourful characters in Australia in the late 80s and 90s, when, of course, he made a comeback and won a title in the mid-90s when he was nearly 50.
Now, Aussie Joe Bugner, isn't he famous for fighting Ali?
He fought Ali, yeah. He went the distance with Ali in the mid-70s.
Didn't get knocked out.
No. Which, I mean, Ali wasn't
He fought him in the mid-70s.
Yeah.
So he fought him post Thriller in Manila.
In fact, I'll look it up. It was in 1975 in Kuala Lumpur in July of 1975. Oh, yeah, now he's fighting Prime Muhammad Ali. He was the European heavyweight champion at the time, Aussie Joe, being Hungarian, of course. He moved to Britain, and then at the end of that part of his career in the late 80s, moved to Australia, and he adopted the nickname, which I think he may have given himself, Aussie Joe Bugner, and became an absolute legend. Then he came back and dominated Australian boxing for a while, won another
title.
time.
So he's Hungarian?
Yeah.
How old was he when he left Hungary? Was he a little kid, or because he spoke English with a really thick Aussie accent?
I think he left. They fled the Soviet Union. I'm just having a look here.
Was it 54? The Soviets invaded, wasn't it?
56, and he fled after that. So he would have been a little boy then.
Wow,
he would have been young. He went to Britain.
Yeah, okay.
And then he moved later in life, in his 30s, moved to Australia.
We got a lot of good people from Hungary. Harry Triggerboff, one of the richest men in Australia. He's Hungarian.
I didn't know he was Hungarian.
Meriton Apartments, one of the biggest. Like pretty much every single apartment in Sydney was built by Harry Triggerboff. You know, if you look at all along the Parramatta River, that is Harry Triggerboff's legacy. It's unbelievable how much housing that guy created.
13 after 6, we've got Crows tickets to give away again today. Yesterday we were looking for the smartest Crows fan. We had a quiz and you had to get the third question correct. Took a bit of effort, but we got there in the end. Today, this one's going to be a lot of fun, I reckon, and it's a sort of morning where you're going to want to jump on the Facebook and YouTube live stream. The Crows tickets, which are not just tickets, they're also an opportunity to be upgraded to the McGarry Room with premium seats, dinner and a pre-game beverage package, all thanks to CLK Legal. If you've got a personal injury claim, get the compensation you deserve. Visit clklegal.com.au. We're looking for the most colourful Crows fan this morning. Now, that is going to require you submitting some evidence to us on probably the police home care text line. You can send it to our social media as well, and we'll see it. But 044808 1395. Now, you can do with colourful as you please, but where we want to see things like the most over-the-top Crows-themed pool room, or the kids' bedroom that is festooned with Crows gear, or someone's got a really out-there tattoo of Crows stuff on their person.
Could be your outfit that you wear to the games as well.
Could be your outfit you wear to the game.
We don't have a sort of resident weirdo like that cat person who barracks for Geelong, do we, the Crows?
Yeah, no, you're right. No one that dresses up.
No.
Maybe we didn't know about them until now.
No.
We're about to meet them, perhaps. Adelaide's most colourful Crows fans. Send us through your pictures.
We certainly haven't
be getting along to the Collingwood clash on Thursday night.
We certainly haven't had a headline grabbing Crows fan like, I don't know, Joffa from Collingwood.
Well, that's not a bad thing, is it?
Because he had to go to jail, didn't he?
Yes,
he did.
Yes, had to. And by had to, you mean he was
found guilty.
Yeah. Now, the other thing we're going to do this morning, and we were having a bit of fun talking about this just off air a moment ago. The reject shop's getting renamed to Dollarama. So there's no reject shop in South Australia anymore.
Dollarama.
It's been bought by some Canadian group. Dollarama. There's no doubt that Dollarama might have that name emblazoned on the top, but it's going to be still called the reject shop by all and sundry. What are the things you still call by their old name? What are the things you still call by their old name? We've got a $100 Dilmah tea gift pack to give away. 8223 Sorry?
Twitter.
What's Twitter?
Twitter. Oh, no one calls Twitter X.
Twitter, Angie McBride. You're right.
I think the only people who calls Twitter...
Good point. No one calls it X.
Probably Elon Musk. He'd be the only one.
It sounds stupid to say.
Even his staff don't call it Twitter unless he's in the room.
Yeah, exactly right. 8223 what do you call by its old name?
You know what I simply cannot bring myself to say? Sir Donald Bradman Drive. As far as I'm concerned, it's Burbridge Road. I think they only changed the name after Sir Donald died.
Yeah, they'll try to find something to, give him a tribute.
Yeah. And I remember then straight away there was a shocking story where there was some adult bookshop on Burbridge Road that renamed itself Erotica on Bradman. And,
there was the
Bradman's
cafe.
family complained and said, hang on, we don't want some, shop selling girly mags named after the greatest batsman of all time.
They objected to everything because there was a cafe there that, if I recall correctly, called him Bradman on the Drive. They renamed their shop Bradman on the Drive.
And the Bradmans fired up about that.
Yeah, that's right. There was a whole bunch that suddenly saw it as a huge opportunity to use the Bradman name, and they all got taken to task.
But I reckon everyone my age would struggle with Sir Donald Bradman Drive. I just say, it's Burbridge Road.
Well, especially because the lower part of it is still Burbridge Road, I believe.
So is that the lower part when you go over Tapley's Hill?
Yeah, I think that bit is still called Burbridge Road, which makes it confusing. Yuri and Beaumont, what do you still call by its old name?
Red legs are alive, Dave. We're coming to get you, buddy. Watch out.
Oh, you're getting ahead of yourself there, mate. You've got to beat the Crows first.
Look, the world game is my life, being the biggest Tottenham Hotspur supporter in the world. I grew up, and the name I grew up as is a soccer player, not a football player. I'm a soccer player, and I still always call it soccer. That is the real name.
All right, good on you, Yuri. Thank you. We'll take some more calls after the break. Things you still call by their old name. We've got the Dilmah tea gift pack giveaway, valued at some $100. It's a lot of tea, and we know it's quality because it's Dilmah. Let's take a break. News headlines and some more of your things you call by the old name next.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 2,000 Nissans, Patrols, Navaras, X-Trails, 1,500 Mazdas, 3 6s, BT50s, over 1,200 Suzukis. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
Buy this, get that is on now at Snooze. Buy a Snooze bedding pack, get 50% off selected mattresses. Hurry, buy this, get that is on now at Snooze. Exclusions, T's and C's apply.
What a little snooze can do. No matter what your lifestyle looks like, if you have a home care package, you can choose who cooks your meals. Local Kitchen Co. is an Adelaide-owned, NDIS-approved provider dedicated to delivering nutritious, affordable, home-style meals straight to your door. Every meal is thoughtfully planned, made with fresh local ingredients and generously portioned. With weekly changing menus, there's always something new to try. So if you've got a home care package and you like your meals locally made and delicious, search Local Kitchen Co. and order today.
It's showtime at Wayville Hyundai, and we want to show you how good servicing your car can be. Want free parking for the Royal Show? Get your car serviced at Wayville Hyundai. Roll up, because there's even more with a $25 food and drink coupon and a free car wash and vacuum. Plus, you can service your car now and pay later with Afterpay. Showtime bookings are now open. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground.
Hello. For professional tilers, the all-new Tileworks by National Tiles is life-changing. Tileworks tilers make up to $50,000 per year or more than other tilers. That's give or take an extra $1,000 per week. Yes, Tileworks for professional tilers is life-changing. You get free premium adhesive and grout, free delivery, plus substantial monthly cash rebates. So if you're a professional tiler, find out more about Tileworks and rush to join now at nationaltiles.com.au. Conditions apply.
Got a legendary dad? Then he deserves a legendary Father's Day gift.
from a legendary store. And when I say legendary, I mean Trims, of course. It's a legendary menswear store with legendary brands like Levi's, Blundstone, FXD, Rossi, Yeti and RM Williams. Made for completely legendary dads, which by default makes you pretty legendary too. For a legendary Father's Day gift, it has to be Trims. Trims.com.au, 430 King William Street in the CBD.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
21 minutes after 6, asking you this morning, what do you still call by its old name? The reject shop about to be renamed Dollarama. We're not convinced that's going to stick, at least straight away. We've got $100 worth of Dilmar tea coming someone's way. It could be Andrew in Adelaide who's called in. Morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Will. How are you? Good morning, David.
G'day, Andrew.
I'll start off with some good ones. I still call it Rhodesia, the capital Salisbury. I still call it Calcutta. Still call it Bombay. Still call it Peking. I still call it Ayers Rock. They're all the names. They might be the old traditional British names, but they're the names I still use because they're what I was taught at school.
No Mumbai for you. Good on you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
Istanbul, not Constantinople. Let's go to Jason in
There's a song
Salisbury.
about that.
That's right. Morning, Jason.
Morning, guys. How you going?
Good, thanks, mate.
Well, I reckon it would have to be that V8 race in the city. I reckon myself and half of Adelaide or more would still be calling it the Clipsal.
Jason, I can tell you that we must have had 50 texts saying Clipsal. I think that might be the most widely used incorrect name in South Australia.
I think the Clipsal marketing guy who cut that deal owns some huge house in the Bahamas and
he should do.
Smokes Cohiba cigars lit with $100 bills. There's no amount of money he should be paid for that deal because it's just endured for decades. It's crazy.
Mark and Roseworthy, good morning.
Hey, good morning, boys. Yeah, I hate ovals called by the sponsors' names without including the original name.
Yes.
You lose track of what oval's what if you're not up with it. But particularly, say, Cardinia Park or something like that, I don't, you know what I mean?
I do the exact same thing, Mark. They're all...
watching the McGarry Medal last night, that was a great win for the Bays at Stratorama.
Yeah.
And you just go, okay.
And what's that one now?
Wasn't it Gliderol?
Yeah.
It's really hard to keep up with it.
It is. Bill in Port Pirie, good morning.
I think Jason stole me thunder, mate, because I was also going to talk about the Clipsal 500.
Yeah.
Everyone is. It's easily the number one.
Katie in Fullerton, good morning.
I keep referring to Telecom instead of Telstra. It's probably 10 when it changed names, but I still go the old Telecom.
Do you pay your Telecom bill with your bank card too, Leanne?
Pretty much.
Good on you, Katie. Thank you.
Sorry, Katie. We've got Leonie next.
Let's go to Leonie in Morphett Bar. Morning, Leonie.
Good morning. I still call the ready teller the ATM.
Oh, yeah.
When I say it, kids say, what's an ATM?
They're harder to find these days.
They are harder to find. Thank you, Leonie. I didn't realise they were called something other than an ATM.
Ready teller. Yeah, that's a brand name for them, isn't it?
Is it?
Ian in Morphett Vale on the police home care text line says, Dave and Will, I prefer to say peanut paste. Now, I still say peanut paste, and I said that because I had some peanut paste a few days ago. And the kids said, what are you talking about? They say that to me all the time. So you're going to say things like, do you want to watch DVD tonight?
When you make them a mixtape.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice day today, top of 19, mostly sunny, winds very little to speak of. It's a bit of everything this week. Tomorrow we'll get a drizzle of rain, maximum of 17. Thursday, 18, in a mill of rain. Then it really warms up. 19 on Friday and partly cloudy. 25 on Saturday, would you believe? 3 mils of rain around on Sunday. It's still at 23 degrees, so quite pleasant. Then Monday at 19 and up to 3 mils of rain. So by the standards of the depths of winter, it's actually a fairly warm sort of week ahead. Now, a little bit of sad news this morning. Tom Reen is off crook. He's not in the studio. Browse undercover in comfort for your certified pre-owned Toyota at the new Jarvis Toyota Brighton Road, Summerton Park. But I thought that would be cruel to not do sport this morning and not give you an opportunity to cook because your man, Tom Lewis, has won the McGarry medal.
Unbelievable. And at the start of the count, Will Snelling, who tied last year with the Nord Ruckman, who's now at the Saints, Harry Boyd, in what was a wonderful McGarry count last year. I'll tell you what, though, for a neutral, it was a pretty one-sided contest last night because despite Will Snelling, who was plagued by some injuries later in the year, he was shot out to a lead at first. But, it was just a completely one-sided contest. I can't remember. I'm doing all this from memory because I watched it last night.
You won by 10 votes.
Yeah, it's a 10 vote margin.
33.
At one point, we were looking up highest McGarry votes ever. Russell Ebert, the legend, in 1976 got 42 votes. At one point, it looked like Tom Lewis was on target to get that. He didn't poll at all in the final 2 rounds, with the Crows subjecting Sturt to their only loss of the year in the final round 18, by a couple of points at the home of football there in Unley. But to Tom Lewis, a terrific win. He's just been a stunningly good player for Sturt. Because we had that sort of midfield engine room for a long time, led by Zane Kirkwood. He's just an absolutely brilliant player. And his speech, I didn't realise, he came so close to dying from injuring his spleen really badly. He got crunched between 2 Centrals players. And after the game, he says, normally he's really hungry. He wasn't hungry at all. And on the Sunday, he's like, that's funny, I'm not hungry still. Feeling a bit out of sorts. Then he wasn't drinking any water either, but he arranged to have dinner with a family meal with his mum the next night. So he went to this dinner. They were in town at some restaurant. He didn't want to eat anything. He went outside and he thought he was going to faint. And he thought, I'll hold it together. He was starting a new job the next day and he thought, well, I've got to go to a new job. So he's in real pain by now. He goes to his new job. He makes it through to 5 p.m, at which point he goes, there's something wrong. So he rings the Sturt doctor. He rings Marty Matner and they say, yeah, this sounds kind of serious, mate. It's been going on for 48 hours now. He goes to the RA. They give him a scan. No, he went to Sportsmed first. Then he went to the RA because the Sportsmed people said, you look like you've got massive internal bleeding. He lost 40% of his spleen.
Wow.
If he wasn't a young, fit guy, he would have died.
That's extraordinary.
It's a bloody amazing story. But anyway, great year so far for Sturt, but you get the vibe that all of these things, as nice as they are, minor premiership record, successive wins, none of it matters. All that matters is beating Adelaide this Sunday at 3 o'clock.
Polled in 13 of his 18 appearances. We've got 3 votes on 8 different occasions. Originally hails from the Meningie Football Club, who have one of the best nicknames in South Australian football, the Coorong Cats.
The Coorong Cats?
Yeah, the Coorong Cats.
Imagine seeing them play at home.
I wonder if anyone's got any connections listening to the Coorong Cats or what they were originally the Meningie Football Club. We'd love to hear from you. 8223 0000.
Isn't there an Isaac Rankin connection to Meningie?
I'm not sure. There may well be. The other thing football-wise we're on the lookout for, of course, is Adelaide's most colourful Crows fan. If you've got a picture of your house, a room in it, or maybe something on your body or an outfit you wear that is really out there, you could be winning tickets to get along to the final on Thursday night, and then you're in the running to be upgraded to the McGarry room when you get the whole thing laid on with the meal and the drinks package and so forth. But you need to send us some evidence that you are the most colourful Crows fan in South Australia. Do with that as you please, but 0248 08 1395 is the place to send us your picture evidence, and we will then put it up on the Facebook and YouTube live stream, and everyone can judge and see for themselves. Adelaide's most colourful Crows fan is what we want to see on the program this morning. Should we award that Dilmar tea?
Yeah, let's give it to you, Katie.
Katie, you've got the Dilmar tea pack coming your way, a variety of flavours, like their breakfast tea, green tea with mint, and their rose, lychee and vanilla tea. This is valued at some $100.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 19 today with the 6:30 news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
For the best price, quality and same-day service, trust Complete Windscreens. RAA approved, Main North Road, Prospect.
Responders are sifting through the rubble, trying to find survivors of an earthquake in eastern Afghanistan, which has killed more than 800 people. Thousands more are injured after the magnitude 6 earthquake struck the remote mountainous area. The UN's Charlie Goodlake says entire villages have been destroyed.
It's a very remote area of Afghanistan and it's very difficult to reach there. We've only been able to reach with the authorities through helicopters for the most part of today. So you can imagine that the numbers will rise significantly in the days to come.
Jetstar flights into and out of Adelaide are being expanded, an additional 13 domestic flights each week, unlocking more than 350,000 new fares. From late October, there'll be an extra 5 flights to Melbourne and another 4 per week from Adelaide to Brisbane and Perth. Well, the longer toddlers spend on screens, the less time they spend learning to talk. More from Gabrielle Hodson.
Researchers at the Central Michigan University College of Medicine have created an overview of 40 international studies on what happens when kids are given screens. The risk of cognitive impairment was found to be greatest in 3 to 7-year-olds. News Corp says one study even suggested greater screen times led to a lower IQ. Research also found screen time affected motor and language development, with some toddlers suffering poor comprehension and expression. An Australian study found a 3-year-old watching the average 3 hours of screen time was likely to miss out on 1,100 adult words a day.
An ailing Darren Hinch says he has considered voluntary assisted dying. The 81-year-old says seeing the decline of a good friend was miserable and he couldn't live like that. He's told the Neil Mitchell Asks Why podcast his own health isn't good, but he's not at that point yet.
I'm very lucky in that my brain is still seems to be going. Some people will dispute that. But they always did. It seems to be working. But if my brain went, I've told my medical attorney, don't revive me.
Weight loss is linked to better health, mobility and energy, according to a new survey. The CSIRO surveyed 1,300 participants in its total wellbeing diet. Lead researcher Dr Gilly Hendry says most benefited from losing weight.
72% of members who lost 5 kilos or more reported improvements in their satisfaction with life, and many members reported improvements with their mental health, their blood pressure and their cholesterol.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Call Gliderol now. Order a new door with operator before the end of September and receive 2 extra handsets.
No surprises at last night's Magarey medal count, with Sturt midfielder Tom Lewis walking away the winner. He polled maximum votes in 5 consecutive matches, ending up with 33. Last year's winner and teammate Will Snelling polled third. He's made a big impact on Lewis.
Will Snelling's been a great person to look up to and I guess follow his journey, and he's very professional with the things he does week in, week out, day by day, and I try to, mimic that a little bit. I felt like that's held me in good stead this season.
Well, the start of the AFL Finals is just days away. The Crows trained last night at Adelaide Oval, which is where they face the Magpies on Thursday night in a qualifier. Hawthorn is hoping to rewrite the record books by elevating themselves from 8th place on the ladder to make it deep into September. They face the Giants on Saturday afternoon in an elimination final in Sydney. Hawks coach Sam Mitchell telling Fox Footy they're ready to impress.
I said to the players afterwards, we had a double chance, we just used it early, so I need to win them all from here. I don't think anyone's done it from 8th yet, so it'll be nice write the storybook.
To tennis, and Aussie Alex de Minaur is through to the quarterfinals at the US Open. Also on the winners list, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Iga Swiatek and Naomi Osaka. And former heavyweight boxer Joe Bugner, also known as Aussie Joe Bugner, has died at 75. That's 5AA Sport. Now the forecast, mostly sunny, 19 today, a shower or 2 tomorrow, 17. Thursday, partly cloudy and 18, and Friday, 19. Right now, it's 10 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Coming up to 25 minutes to 7, on the lookout this morning for Adelaide's most colourful Crows fans. Get your pictures in on 0480 08 1395, the police home care text line, because you could be going to the game, the sold-out game on Thursday night. These are the only tickets you're going to get.
but we want a colourful Crows fan to get them the most extravagantly decorated house, pool room, bathroom, person, tats, clothes, hair, you name it. If it's colourful, we want to see pictures. Pets?
Could be your pet. You might have had your pet all festooned in crow's clobber. Can you get dog coats in crow's colours? I'm sure you can. You get anything.
I bet people knit them.
They would. They would.
Terry in Henley Beach tells us that Menengi, Canalpin and Tintinara, they merged to become the Coorong Cats. So there's a heap of clubs. And
Daniel
Menzel coached the Cats.
Daniel Menzel from Geelong.
He played for the Cats, just a different Cats over in Geelong for a long time. Thank you for that, Terry. 04808013 Let's talk about an issue that is going to affect everyone at one time or another, and it's one that is affecting governments, both state and federal, at the moment. What to do with Australia's ageing population? The data tells us quite clearly that people want to stay in their own homes, and it behooves governments to try and facilitate that desire because it means people aren't in stretched aged care or medical facilities. Well, some new research from Flinders University is looking at how do you deliver on that? How do you make it a reality that Australians can live at home longer? Professor Jill Harvey is the Deputy Director of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences at Flinders University. Professor Harvey, good morning to you.
Morning. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you today.
Not at all, Professor Harvey. This is very apt because we did a piece yesterday in our Breaking at 8 segment with the federal independent MP Rebecca Sharkey about the huge backlog of people trying to get my aged care home packages, close to 250,000 people. What are the sort of props, what are the sorts of things that people need most if they're going to stay in their home longer?
Certainly from our research, we know that people want to stay living at home, and now we do have more older people in Australia who receive government-funded home care support than live in residential aged care, and that's the way of the future. So it's really around making sure that the care is coordinated as possible, that we recognise if someone is deteriorating, that we make their homes as safe as possible to live in. So a whole combination of factors. But what we've seen is that there's not good evidence around exactly what we need to do to keep people living well at home.
Mm. What's the biggest sort of problem in terms of, because I think the thing is when you talk about monitoring their decline, if you will, or their lack of decline, identifying the point at which actually they're now beyond being capable of staying at home, that becomes an issue that goes to human contact, doesn't it? Is it a nurse? Is it their children? Is that the most dangerous point for older people who are at home?
It's the whole network, really, of people who connect and look after older people. So, yeah, obviously family informal carers, but also the paid carers that are going in from aged care providers. So if you have a home support package, you get care from an aged care provider. That could be a nurse or it could be a healthcare assistant. But it's about recognising the signs if someone's deteriorating, and that is a piece of work that we'll be doing in our new research centre, educating carers when someone might be declining and need additional help, but also supporting the carers of people, particularly people who look after their relatives with dementia.
It's interesting, isn't it, how fast the world has changed, is it not, Professor Harvey? You think about the age pension in Australia. It's barely 100 years old, and it was brought in at a time when if you made it to 70, people thought you were old, whereas now 70, it's like, you're still running around playing tennis or going on overseas holidays.
That's right, or playing AFL. I saw on the TV last night in a 70-plus age group. But, it's really the 85-plus population that is growing the quickest and will be the frailest and the most in need of support. And particularly in South Australia, where we have the highest number of 85-plus people who are receiving this home care support to live at home.
Yeah. Well, it's important work. And
I was going to, as you were talking, I was thinking you can make the argument there is no more important work in Australia at the moment.
Yeah.
Economically, productivity-wise, healthcare-wise. Like solving this goes to the heart of a whole heap of problems.
Completely. Good on Flinders for getting this
completely
this investment money, research money rather, as well. A $3 million grant from the National Health and Medical Research Council. It's our old alma mater, Flinders. Will and I both went to Flinders.
Wonderful. Don't hold that against it, though.
No. Exactly. Thanks, Professor Harvey.
Professor Jill Harvey, the Deputy Director of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences there at the magnificent Flinders University.
I was doing less important work at Flinders. I was reading the poems of Pablo Neruda in the Humanities Department.
That's deep. That's very important. It's giving you
I
this
can even
worldly
recite some on
experience.
here if you want me to sound like a complete rhymes with anchor.
No, we take your word for it. Hey, we got texts coming through on the Police Home Care text line. Alicia from Happy Valley and her best friend Emma, colourful Crows fans at the game with a scarf knitted by my grandmother.
You can't beat a scarf knitted by your grandmother, can you?
That says love and care. Look at it. That's a terrific looking scarf.
Hey, I never tied up the ends to a happy story. What was a sad story at first ended up being a happy story. My mate Angel Fernandez, mad Sturt supporter, Sturt historian as well, written a lot of books about Sturt. He lost his lucky Sturt scarf at the game.
Did it get located?
He found it. Someone found it and handed it in.
Fantastic.
Reunited with the scarf.
That's good news. Also, Sam sent through a picture of his kids, who he lovingly describes as my two young Crows nuffies, following after their dad. Thank you, Sam. Looking for Adelaide's most colourful Crows fan. We're going to get all these pictures, and every time we talk about it, what we're going to do is we'll cycle through them on the Facebook and YouTube live stream, okay? So over the course of the morning, we're going to celebrate the most colourful Crows fans. We want the most colourful, and that person we're going to award tickets by 9 o'clock this morning. These tickets are going off for Thursday night's game. If you missed out, find a picture of your most colourful Crows stuff, you, a room, your house, your decos, whatever it might well be, 8223 0000, or text us through on the Police Home Care text line, because that's going to be a lot of fun when we can put up a montage on the Facebook and YouTube live stream over the course of the morning. But no one will have more fun than you when you're getting along to the game. Let's check traffic for the first time this morning when we return police and weather, and then a really big announcement out of Jetstar in Adelaide, who are this morning announcing they're adding more than 350,000 new low-fare seats to the Adelaide network. Big story. We'll get into that very shortly. But, of course, traffic first, thanks to the excellent Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Summerton Park. This is the new one, too, where you can now browse undercover in comfort for your certified pre-owned Toyota.
Thanks, Will, and morning, David. Right, not looking too bad today. Accident breakdown free. Pretty good start to the day, in fact. In the city, got lights on the blink. Sturt Street at Whitmore Square. Bit out of the way. Shouldn't give you too many dramas. If you're heading towards Birdwood, got a road blocked up there at the moment due to a large rock that's fallen. Torrens Valley Road near Fox Road. And the Royal Adelaide Show up and running again for another week, so look out for speed restrictions. Goodwood Road and Greenhill Road may make the drive to work a bit slower this morning. Cameras, Dawes Road, Door Park and States Road at Onkaparinga Hills. Cruise into big savings with up to 50% off Flight Centre's cruise sale. From ocean to river and expedition cruises, there's something for every traveller. Don't miss the boats. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Break-ins and home invasions concern us all, but you don't have to be a victim. Swan has you covered with a complete lineup of easy-to-install home security solutions, like video doorbells with AI voice assistants, Max Range's strong and long-range wireless systems, and wired CCTV systems with 24/7 recording. Now is the right time to invest in a new Swan security solution with 20% off selected products, but only until September 7. Visit your local Swan retailer or swann.com.
You've worked hard, raised families, built a life. Now it's your time. At Living Choice Flagstaff Hill Retirement Village, wellness and comfort aren't extras. They're every day. Retirement is your time to focus on living well by taking advantage of the magnesium pool, staying active in the gym, or unwinding in the cinema with friends. Here, luxury living meets lasting well-being with beautiful move-in ready apartments waiting for you. Discover the retirement you deserve. Book your tour today at livingchoice.com.au.
Health and well-being look different to everyone, which is why Health Partners is more than just your health partner. They're your partner in living well.
Yeah, Health Partners are your hammy stretching partner, your chart squinting partner, your bone mending partner. As a proudly local health insurer, they've had South Aussies' backs and eyes and teeth and everything in between for over 85 years.
And because they're 100% not-for-profit, they're 100% for you. Your needs, your care, your community. Health Partners is health insurance made human.
Is your outdoor area living up to its potential? If not, speak to Luba House and transform your outdoor area with an opening and closing roof that's ready for next summer. An SA family-owned business, Luba House do everything. Planning, design, council approvals, local manufacturing and installation, so you'll have peace of mind it's done right. Don't wait any longer. Find out more with a free design, measure and quote. Bring your outdoor area to life with Luba House. lubahouse.com.au.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
14 to 7. This is intriguing. Got just a text with a picture, not of colourful Crows fans, but a soy sauce sachet from someone who didn't leave their name on the text. I think this is intriguing, though. They said, had sushi yesterday. The little fish has been replaced with a plastic sachet of sauce. Isn't this the same thing, just a different plastic? Asks the texter, and they've sent through the picture. That is, by definition, a single-use plastic, is it not?
Well, unless it's biodegradable plastic. Although, how could it be if it's got soy sauce in it? Wouldn't it break down? Wouldn't it sort of eventually dissolve with the soy sauce in it?
I'm going full Zapruder vision on the. I've zoomed right in as much as you can physically. I don't. There's nothing on that says biodegradable that I can see. There are no little symbols or markers.
Yeah. It's funny.
We've been sold a pup here.
You know, Mexico for years, if you buy a soft drink, they empty it into a plastic bag, stick a straw in the plastic bag, like a little freezer bag, put a rubber band around the lid, you walk around drinking Fanta or Coke out of a plastic bag.
They do that in Southeast Asia a bit too.
What I was thinking, though, was talking to Susan Close yesterday about things like those rectangular takeaway plastic containers you put your noodles in. You know, in Singapore, when you buy like some Hokkien mee noodles at the hawker markets there, they just wrap them up in brown paper.
Yeah.
Tie a piece of string around them.
Yep.
And you think, oh, is that gonna do the job? Works brilliantly. It's a really good way of doing it.
Yep.
And you eat out of them too, and then you chuck it out.
Or they hand you they'll give you the rice just straight into the plastic bag. There'll be no intermediate container in between. Just straight in the bag. Just get a bag of rice. Great pictures been sent through from, I think this was Tony of his Crows Shrine.
Crows and
in
Roosters.
his house. He's got the framed Herald Sun 97, 98 premiers. He's got a, I take down the 2017. Oh, no, that's the girls' premiership. Oh, thank God for that. I had to zoom in.
I wonder if Tony, when he says Roosters, is he Roosters in the Sandful, or is he a full local Strathalbyn Roosters guy? Probably both.
That's both. So it looks like his office, because he's got his computer there. A great frame. They're all individually framed Sunday Mail front pages. Obviously, the famous Herald Sun posters.
WEG.
Of all the teams. That's terrific. Magnificent work, Tony. That's exactly the kind of stuff we're looking for. And you are well and truly in the running to win those tickets for the Crows final on Thursday night. Let's talk about the weather, because that will be a factor on the evening as well. Hannah Marsh at the Bureau has the latest for us. Hannah, take us through the next few days, if you will.
Well, starting off with the morning period, so we did have a little bit of cloud around, which has resulted in some varying minimum temperatures overnight. It got as low as 2.8 degrees at Nuriupa, 7.2 was the minimum in the city, and that was just before midnight, and the warmest was 8.3 at Noarlunga. We're currently sitting on 9.6 degrees. We are looking at a sunny day, heading for a maximum of 19 degrees in the city and Elizabeth, 18 for Glenelg and Noarlunga, and 17 for Mount Barker. We do have just a weak front that clips the southeast as we head into the evening and overnight period. With this, we will just see an increase in moisture, and there is the chance of seeing a drizzly spot or two tomorrow morning, but not expecting much in it, heading for a maximum of 17 degrees. Then we're looking at partly cloudy 18 for Thursday, 19 on Friday. Before the high pressure system moves out to the east, the winds come back around to the north. We're looking at a partly cloudy 25 degrees for Saturday, and then a shower or two and 23 on Sunday as the next system approaches. Having a look at the conditions for the footy tomorrow night, we're looking around that 14-degree mark and relatively light winds and no showers expected.
Thursday night. That's good, Hannah. Yes, it looks like it's going to be great for the footy. Thursday's forecast, it only says a tiny chance of a light shower in the morning, but it's going to be totally clear Thursday night, you'd say, yeah?
Yeah, Thursday night. Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries. Just don't want people turning up tomorrow.
Good on you, Hannah.
Thank you.
All right, let's head to SAPOL. Sydney Constable Matt Brown joins us. Matt, a man's been arrested after being tracked down by Polair and police dog Webster.
That's right, guys. About 12:30am today, police attempted to stop a black Mini Cooper sedan on Peacock Road at Elizabeth Downs, and the vehicle sped off. Was last seen heading southbound towards Elizabeth Park, and so extra patrols, including Polair and a police dog, were called in to assist. The car was tracked to Butterfield Road in Elizabeth Park, where the driver abandoned the vehicle. Now, police dog Webster and his handler helped to locate the suspect, a 36-year-old Elizabeth Park man who was charged with numerous offences, including driving while disqualified and failing to comply with police directions. The car was impounded for 28 days and he's been refused bail and will appear in court today. So some good work by the two-legged and four-legged officers out there.
I tell you what, you never want to take on those police dogs. They've got a very good track record.
No one's ever outrun one, have they, Matt? It doesn't seem like you have much of a chance.
No, not to my knowledge. No. Might put them in the Olympics in 3 years.
Yeah. I'd watch that. That'd be good.
That'd be a beat old Gout, I reckon, the way they're going. Matt, also, a motorbike rider's been arrested after speeding off from police and was then found with stolen World War I medals.
That's right. Just after 1am today, Northern District Patrol spotted a Honda motorcycle on Bridge Road at Para Hills West, bearing a registration plate that was obscured. And when he saw police, the bike sped off and drove through a reserve on North Brian Engel Drive, and the rider then dumped the bike and tried to run off. But patrols were quickly on scene and, after a short foot pursuit, located the suspect on North Bry Avenue. And when the man was searched, he was found in possession of 3 World War I medals, which are suspected of being stolen. So the 27-year-old man from Parafield Gardens was arrested and charged with numerous offences, including driving while disqualified, having an altered number plate, and unlawful possession of the medals. So we are trying to source a photo of them that we can put on our Facebook page, and inquiries continue regarding their owner. So anyone with information or that may have had some medals disappear from a relative's home, please call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
Good on you, Matt. Senior Constable Matt Brown from SAPOL. Jetstar are making a big Adelaide-related announcement this morning. 350,000 new low-fare seats in the Adelaide network. There'll be up to 13 new domestic flights in and out of Adelaide each and every week, starting at the end of October. So to give you some sense of what the breakdown is, Adelaide to Melbourne, Jetstar currently do 35 flights a week. They're going to up that to 40 flights from Adelaide to Melbourne a week. Adelaide to Brisbane, it's 10. Now it's going to be 14 from the end of October. Adelaide to Perth, there are currently 7. That'll go up to 11 by the 26th of October. The prices that you're looking at, $111 Adelaide to Melbourne, $174 Adelaide to Brisbane, and $191 for Adelaide to Perth. Peter Williams is the Managing Director and CEO of Phil Hoffman Travel. Peter, obviously good news, more flexibility for customers. Would you expect that number of flights coming into Adelaide or into the Adelaide ecosystem will reduce prices long term?
Yeah, hi guys, thanks. Yeah, look, there's no doubt. Look, competition definitely puts downward pressure on pricing, and I think when you're bringing in 350,000 extra seats, that's certainly going to see fares drop. And I think more importantly, when we break that down, Will and Dave, when you see that they're flying to places like Brisbane and Perth in particular, we've probably been a little bit underserviced in that area, and And I'm sure, the listeners out there, they've probably tried to jump on a flight and found it a little expensive. What this will do is really bring those prices down on those popular holiday routes. And Melbourne, obviously always very popular. We've got a heap of capacity, but it just shows you that the demand's there.
Good luck getting a ticket for $111 in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen, Dave.
No.
But look, again, like any time, these are, you got to pick your time, and then the sale to coincide with the launch of this. So it's a good time if you're looking at a holiday or a business trip. Jump online and get the best deal now.
It must be an exciting time to be in travel, Pete, after the horrors of COVID and everything you guys and the entire industry went through. It feels like we've had a good news story sort of once every 2 to 3 months out of the Adelaide airport over the last year or so, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think Brendan Cox, the CEO down there, he's doing a fabulous job attracting new airlines and bringing back airlines that we had pre-COVID, like Cathay Pacific. And then, we've got flights out, direct flights to America as well. How exciting is that going to be? And Emirates, they've reinstated their flights. They're bringing in a new aircraft. Qatar effectively double daily. So, there's some great news stories coming out of the airport, and it just shows you the demand for travel at the moment is at an all-time high.
Well, they're doing record numbers at Adelaide Airport. They announced that just the other day. Just speaking of Brenton Cox and the airport, I know he listens, Peter. If you could make a bid to get an airline or a route out of Adelaide, what would be on your wish list that your customers at Phil Hoffman are demanding?
Yeah, I think into Japan would be great. Every second person seems to be going to Japan at the moment, and it'd be great just to have those, the convenience of direct flights out there. I know that they're talking to a couple of the airlines there. Maybe Vietnam's the other one, which is proving really, really popular. And I think the other thing too is just to bolster some of the existing flights that we have. If we can keep that direct flight to the US and with Cathay Pacific at the moment is seasonal to Hong Kong, if we can keep that here in Adelaide for year-round, that would be my wish list.
What about Qantas? Do you think they could still do more, Pete?
Yeah, look, I know it's a debate that we've had before, guys. I think one of the issues, and I'm not really trying to defend, the national flag carrier, but I think ultimately what we're waiting for is the right aircraft for the right route.
Yeah.
And I think we spoke that Adelaide Singapore is on the cards, but I think they've got to just wait for a few new aircraft to arrive, and they're coming pretty well one a month from now on. And so our turn will come, but I do think we're going to have to be patient, and it might be another 12 plus months away because I think they're going to use some of those new aircraft on really high volume routes first of all.
Good stuff, Pete. Peter Williams, the Managing Director and CEO of Phil Hoffman Travel. Always great to catch up with you, mate. Thanks.
More competition is good news for consumers. 3 minutes to 7. Now, after 7 o'clock, what we're going to do, we're going to get into a big local issue that, in fact, it was an environmental issue that affected local producers that predates the algal bloom. So we're going to get into that in just a moment. But also what we're going to do after 7 o'clock, if you've sent us a picture, and now I'm at the point where it's starting to get hard to keep up with the pictures that are coming in to win the Crows tickets on Thursday night. We'll get Brookie, who's the doyen of the live stream, to put them all up. So when we come out of the 7 o'clock news, we're going to talk more, give you an opportunity to prove that you are Adelaide's most colourful Crows fan to win those tickets on Thursday night and be in the draw to win the McGarry Room upgrade with a drinks package and food as well. But we want our listeners to get to see these colourful Crows fans are sending in pictures, people sending in pictures of things their parents have knitted, pictures of their kids, pictures of their home office decked out with Crows posters and framed newspaper front pages and so forth. So that's exactly the stuff we're after. Keep it coming in. The more colourful, the better. And it can be absolutely everything from your Crows shrine to your favourite Crows gear, to you dressed up on location, or indeed if you've got a tattoo, we'd love to see those as well. Keep them coming in, 0480 08 1395.
The state government is rolling out 3-year-old preschool from 2026. Research shows that earlier children access preschool, the sooner their needs can be identified and supported. Learn more at flyingstart.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Our place is your place at the Albion Hotel. A big birthday?
catch up with friends, a casual get-together with good company. Or maybe you're planning something bigger, a special function, a milestone celebration, or a corporate gathering. Whatever the reason, celebrate it at the Albion. And for freebies, cheeky deals and insider perks, download the Albion Hotel Loyalty app. It's happy hour all day, every day. The Albion Hotel, your local, your people, your place.
For over 50 years, Gliderol has been manufacturing and installing garage doors for South Australian homes. Spring is almost here, so why not improve the street appeal and value of your most prized possession? Order a new Gliderol door with operator before the end of September and you'll receive 2 extra handsets. Plus, we'll remove your existing door for free. Call Gliderol for a free measure and quote on 1300 799 144 or go to gliderol.com.au. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply.
Kia's most awarded SUV just got better. The Kia Sorento. Visit kia.com.au to find out more about the 7-seat Kia Sorento.
Kia. Movement that inspires. 5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 19 today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
Shipped windscreen. RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
A man has been arrested after being tracked by road and air by SAPOL. Senior Constable Matt Brown says they attempted to stop a Mini Cooper at Elizabeth Downs after midnight.
The vehicle sped off, was last seen heading southbound towards Elizabeth Park, and so extra patrols including Polair and the police dog were called in to assist. The car was tracked to Butterfield Road in Elizabeth Park where the driver abandoned the vehicle.
A 36-year-old Elizabeth Park man was located nearby. He's been charged with numerous offences, including driving while disqualified and failing to comply with police directions, and will front court today. In Victoria, the search for Desi Freeman has entered its 8th day. Police are looking for members of the public who are helping harbour the gunman. Criminology expert Xanthi Mallet says police leading the manhunt in Pawnpukka believe some residents know where the fugitive is.
People potentially hiding him or certainly know where he is, and they've pointed out that that is a criminal offence and offered them the opportunity to surrender as well. So they firmly believe somebody in the community knows something.
Biosecurity restrictions imposed on a local tomato grower have been lifted after more than a year. SA Tomato Proprietary Limited in Virginia had orders put in place to try and contain a tomato virus. A nationally agreed position that eradication is no longer technically feasible has seen PIRSA remove those restrictions. Shadow Primary Industries Minister Nicola Centofanti says instead the focus will shift to practical management strategies.
This common sense approach really will help growers rebuild confidence and protect jobs right here in South Australia.
Aid agencies are pleading for help in the wake of an earthquake in eastern Afghanistan. Edward Godfrey has more.
Military helicopters are being used to transport some of the victims. More than 800 people have died and more than 2,500 have been injured. The first quake hit Afghanistan's northeast province of Kunar just before midnight local time. It was a 6 magnitude. 2 other strong quakes followed. Entire villages have been flattened. Locals are digging through what were their homes, searching for survivors. Getting search and rescue resources around is difficult. Aid from other countries has been slashed since the Taliban took control in 2021. The Taliban government is now pleading for international help. There's a huge job ahead for rescue teams and locals.
A push to get vape users to buy legal products through pharmacies is falling well below expectations. More from Gail Watson.
A push to get smokers and vapers into the legal market appears to be failing. Since last year, all vapes should only be sold legally at pharmacies. But Freedom of Information documents obtained by News Corp show there have been less than 8,000 therapeutic vape sales through pharmacies every month this year, well below TGA estimates. The figures do not include GP prescriptions. Former Australian Federal Police investigator Rowan Pike, who established Border Force's tobacco strike team, telling the paper the government's policy is failing and the legal product with all its regulations is losing the battle against the illicit product.
Now Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Call Gliderol now. Order a new door with operator before the end of September and receive 2 extra handsets.
A big honour for Sturt's Tom Lewis. He's been crowned the 2025 Magarey medalist. Lewis says it's been a bumper year for the Double Blues.
If you were to come in our change rooms after 17-0, you wouldn't think we've won 17-0. You know, we're so dead-eye focused on winning finals footy and playing the way we want to play to get the job done. So we might have lost against the Crows. We were 20% off. You can't be 20% off in finals footy against good teams.
This weekend, they play the Tigers in the Sandful semi-finals. Well, the countdown continues for the Crows faithful with their qualifier against Collingwood at home on Thursday. The fans turned out for an open training session last night. Meantime, there's movement behind the scenes at Alberton. Port has confirmed Chris Davies is leaving after 11 years. CEO Matthew Richardson says the shortlist for the club's new head of football programs is underway.
Yeah, we'll start that search immediately. We'll take the time to have a think about what's best for Port Adelaide. It's an exciting time to be coming to the Port Adelaide Football Club under new leadership with senior coach Josh Carr.
To tennis, and Aussie Alex de Minaur is through to the quarters at the US Open, and surfing's world champions will be crowned today in Fiji. Aussie Molly Picklum is favourite to win the women's title. That's 5AA Sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Morning there. Roads are looking too bad today. We're actually breakdown free, so that is a good start, isn't it? Do have lights on the blink in a couple of spots. Sturt Street at Whitmore Square, not causing too many dramas there. Lights also on the blink at Linden Park, Greenhill Road near Devereux Road. Speeds reduced on Goodwood Road and Greenhill Road. That is for the show. Lots of folk getting there already this morning. And if heading towards Birdwood, roads are blocked due to a large rock, Torrens Valley Road near Fox Road. Camera 2 this morning, Hallett Road, Stonyfell. Heading out on a road trip, make sure your vehicle's up to the task with the brakes, steering and suspension check from Petters. Peace of mind for just $28. Book now at petters.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, 19 and mostly sunny for your Tuesday. A shower or two tomorrow, 17. Thursday, partly cloudy, 18. And Friday, 19. Right now, it's 10 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
6 minutes after 7. Good morning to you. You're joining us for the first time on this Tuesday morning. That's warming up. It's going to be 19 degrees, as you've just heard. The sun is up. It's currently beaming through the window here on level 4 at Hindmarsh Square.
It's like Melbourne weather at the moment. Yesterday at the show, we were there all afternoon and into the evening, and it was hot, it was cold, it was overcast, it was sunny, it was a bit of everything.
Yeah, it's going to be like that all this week. Thursday night, we just heard, incidentally, for the footy. Sounds like it's going to be pretty dry. Perfect conditions for finals footy on Thursday night. You could be there. We have tickets, the only tickets you're going to get anywhere, all thanks to the great people at CLK Legal. If you have a personal injury claim, get the compensation you deserve. Visit clklegal.com.au. We're looking this morning for the most colourful Crows fan. Yesterday, we were on the lookout for the smartest Crows fan. This morning, it's the most colourful. And right now on the Facebook and YouTube live stream, we're just putting up some pictures that have already been sent through to us this morning. Some fantastic pictures of people at the game, people with scarves they've knitted and made themselves, people with their kids dressed up in all the gear, some terrific face paint work on the kids there as well, families that are getting together at the airport, colourful Crows fans dressed up in the gear. The other thing we're doing, and we love these pictures, like Tony's home office covered in posters, pictures of front pages and so forth, individually framed, people on location at landmarks dressed up as Crows fans.
People's pets.
Now, you said we need to see some pets, and people have delivered, haven't they?
I love this. Jill in Modbury Heights has sent through 2 photographs of her pet dog, who is called Taylor Walkies. Taylor Walkies is what is Taylor Walkies? A Labrador? Looks like a little Labrador. Well, I don't know. A golden retriever maybe. But Taylor Walkies is wearing the number 13 jumper, and the kennel is a work of art. Blue, red and gold with a big number 13 on the top, a crow's sign on the side, and then it says Tayla. Taylor
Walkies is pretty good. Sue in Christie's Beach sent through a picture of her dog with a crow's-coloured bow tie on. That's pretty good as well.
This is awesome.
That's excellent. And then I love this picture from Jill. This was one that she's obviously got from a way back for the 2017 AFL Grand Final. Jill's house looked like it's the Crows equivalent of a house you go down during Christmas where all the street and everyone in it are decked out in Christmas lights and paraphernalia. It's just all Crows stuff. The letterbox covered in balloons and painted with Crows gear. There's posters hanging off the garage door. Garage door would have been totally unusable for this sort of period of time. There are looks like there are Christmas lights that are hanging. There's a giant inflatable crow that greets you, a Crows player dressed up in the gear that greets you at the front door. Scarves hanging from the door. Footballs. I reckon there's a Rory Sloane head that's hiding there in one of the windows. Even the trailer down the side of the house has got some sort of Crows towel or rug on it as well. Keep them coming in. This is the kind of stuff that'll get you along to the game on Thursday night. The most colourful Crows fan. Your house dressed up, your pets dressed up, your living room, your pool room, your children, you name it. We want the most colourful Crows fan to get along on Thursday night. Keep those pictures coming through because they're a lot of fun, and we'll keep putting them up on the Facebook and YouTube live stream.
Well, it's been a bad year environmentally in South Australia. Obviously, the algal bloom has dominated discussion for the last 6 months, and there's still no signs of it dissipating. We're going to have Mike Steele, the algae czar, joining us in the studio after 8:30, and we ask all of you to put your thinking caps on, whatever question you have about the algae. But this time 1 year ago, it was a different type of environmental problem that was dominating the headlines, and it was something that specifically affected one industry here in South Australia, one that is at the very heart of our food bowl up there in Virginia and Two Wells. The tomato industry devastated by the brown rugose virus, and a lot of criticisms of the way that challenge was handled by PIRSA. Well, the good news is that finally this biosecurity crackdown has been lifted. It means that after more than a year in limbo, local industries are going to be back on their feet. To discuss this, we are joined by the Shadow Minister for Primary Industries, Nicola Centofanti, and also Tony Sucker, who's a tomato grower in Virginia, who we've spoken to before from De Salvatore Farms. We'll start with you, Nicola. What's your take on how this was handled, and where does it leave the growers now after the impact that they've suffered?
Yeah, morning, Will. Morning, David. Look, I mean, I think the decision has been long overdue. You know, we've been in management for the virus for some months, but it's the right call, and, you know, we welcome the lifting of the restrictions. I think we can all remember, you know, back in mid-December of last year when the Petzios family's nursery, which, you know, has been operating since the 60s, was essentially closed down, shut down overnight, and, you know, that left them absolutely devastated. They had, you know, millions of dollars in losses. They had to lay off staff, and, you know, and that's around 25 people that they employed that no longer had jobs. Their greenhouses were empty. You know, they've been through so much over the last 12 months, and I think, you know, it's only now, after months and months and months, a year basically of uncertainty, that they're able to rebuild and reclaim their businesses. But I just want to be clear, ultimately, the end goal has got to be a uniform national approach, and we don't quite have that yet, and that means consistent testing requirements across every state and consistent rules for growers who want to sell their fruit interstate, because I think it's so incredibly important that we give these growers some clarity and some confidence, no matter where they're sending their produce. And, you know, I'm calling on the Minister to really provide that leadership on this issue on behalf of, you know, South Australian growers. I mean, the Minister didn't cause this situation, but it is incumbent on her to now go into bat for our industry and for our state and ensure that there is a uniform bunch of rules across the nation.
Nicola Centofanti, it sounds like these businesses effectively have been shut down for naught, given that the national position is that you can't eradicate this now. We just have to we have to learn to live with it here. So they've been shut down for a prolonged period of time and nothing's been achieved. Are these businesses entitled to some form of compensation, do you think?
Look, I think that absolutely the government need to be looking at this. I mean, look, I know that the Petsioses are entitled to some compensation, and I'm not sure. I hope that has been paid. But yeah, look, ultimately the tomato industry had been calling for months and saying, look, this is something that is endemic. It's endemic globally. I mean, biosecurity does remain paramount. But when eradication isn't possible, the focus has to shift to management. And, you can't leave growers stranded indefinitely. That's why we need nationally consistent rules so that growers are protected and markets are secure without, this constant, endless uncertainty going forward.
Well, we thank you for that, Nicola. We're going to talk to Tony Sucker, as I said, who can talk on behalf of the growers in and around Virginia who are really caught in the middle of all this. Tony, what sort of impact has this had on your business year on year?
Oh, it's been devastating here in Virginia, guys. Thanks for having me.
Not at all.
And thank you to Nicola for supporting us all through this. The strength of the opposition is needed when the situation happens where we haven't got a voice. So thank you again, Nicola, and the Liberal Party to assist us to get our message out across. Yeah, the devastation in Virginia has been massive. The ripple effects that it's caused, like availability of seeds and wanting to plant and having all these restrictions still on us, have been very, very devastating. And it's been an emotional time because, I mean, these businesses rely on turnover to grow products. And when they're not allowed to or when they're restricted, it just becomes harder and harder and just you lose the spirit to keep going.
Did you have to lay many people off?
Oh, we did, definitely. We had to cut our workforce by half. We had to look at what we're doing to try and, get the profit back that we lost. And it's damn hard, it is. And, I mean, we're only a small grower. The larger growers have been more affected by all this because of their uncertainty. And unfortunately, the minister has been non-active. I mean, the thing is that if this management did come in 2 months ago, it should be equal playing field for all us growers around Australia, not just us growers in South Australia who are continuing testing. We've proven negative, but we've got to test for another 6 months. Why isn't Queensland testing? I mean, we know that it came through the seed. It's been identified that the seed was infected, which is all over Australia. The seed is sold all over Australia. Why aren't the other states testing? Or why isn't this ban being lifted in South Australia so we can just trade?
Why was it that South Australia was singled out? Would the government argue it's because the outbreak happened here?
Basically, that's right. The outbreak happened here. Unfortunately, there was a major player, Perfection Fresh, and the Petsios family. They were involved in it, and everyone that was tied into the Petsios family, they got seeds propagated through their site, which was one of the best propagation places here in Virginia. It was so far advanced, and their hygiene was 100%, but they were never really at fault. I mean, it came in through the seed. So basically, where it was heading was all wrong. It was all a situation where it should have been sorted out from management on day one, where we shouldn't have been isolated and been treated like lepers in our own farms, where we didn't know where we were at. And then the fiasco just went on and on with the testing times taking 3 months to test. It was an absolute joke, and that affected a lot of growers. A lot of growers walked away from their farms. The smaller family ones that have been in for years, they turned around and said, "I'm not growing this anymore. This is just too hard."
So, Tony, has it kicked into this year? Because I would imagine, I'm hazarding a guess here, but if you're going to try to have your tomatoes up and running for this summer, this coming late spring summer, you'd need to have planted the seeds already in the greenhouses, would you not?
Yeah, correct. I mean, well, in the next 2 months is when the majority of seeds are planted around Virginia.
Right.
So if we know that the outcome is lifting all restrictions, basically in South Australia, then we can all have the confidence to plant. But at the moment, even if we do prove that we, for another 6 months we've got to keep testing, that we have the virus, then we're restricted again. So basically, why are we being tested and why are the other states not being tested? And they've proven in other corporate facilities around Australia that the virus is there. Now, that fruit is trading all around Australia without any problems, without any restrictions at all. So why are we isolated here in South Australia? Why do we have to continue testing and abide by these rules that the other states have implemented onto us to keep trading? It's unfair.
These are great questions. Good questions for the Primary Industries Minister, Claire Scriven, who's just called into the program. Minister, good morning to you. You probably just heard the back end of what Tony Sucker was saying from the Salvatore Farms in Virginia. It seems like we've got a bit of a rail gauge problem, doesn't it, when it comes to the different states and how they're approaching this particular problem?
Yeah, look, that's probably not a bad analogy. It's been really, really hard for the South Australian tomato growers. We've been very fortunate that only 3 businesses have actually had the disease, but all of the businesses have had to do really extensive testing, particularly if they're going into Western Australia or Queensland. Now, once it was detected in Victoria and New South Wales, which is, in recent months, there was eventually the national decision to say, okay, we can't eradicate nationally, we will go to a management approach. But from my perspective, unfortunately, given that we are in a federation, each state or territory makes their own decisions about trade. So we are still working really hard with the Queensland government. Western Australia is also an issue in terms of the sorts of testing that they are requiring. So I've had multiple robust discussions with my counterparts, particularly in Queensland, where it's very difficult. The other states, however, they are open to trade, so that is one of the good outcomes.
Well, rather than it being a question of the other states are too blasé, is it perhaps the case that South Australia's been too paranoid or too over the top in its enforcement of these rules?
Well, what we've got to remember is our focus the whole time has been on trying to maintain trade with the other states, trying to make sure that our roughly 230 growers can continue to send their tomatoes and capsicums to the other states. So if you recall back, 12 months ago, the other states were essentially saying, if we didn't have the approach that we did, then pretty much all the rules would come up and there would be no trade to the other states at all. Now, that would have been far worse for South Australian growers than the situation that we've had. So, if growers decide not to test, then they're not going to be able to access Queensland, for example, currently, because that's Queensland's decision. But certainly a national, consistent, open trade would be the ideal outcome, and that's what our government and myself as Minister have been working very, very hard on.
Tony Sacker said the Minister has been non-active. That's his quote. What do you say in response to that?
Oh, look, Tony's not correct. I've been talking with the Queensland Minister. I've raised it at the recent National Agricultural Ministers meeting, both at the CEO level of my department and at the officer level of my department. There has been huge amounts of work going on with this, because it's in everyone's interest, in our view, that there be that level playing field. The question is, how can we force other states to do that? As I say, New South Wales, Victoria and Tasmania, we're able to trade. It really is Western Australia and Queensland who are remaining very, very set, shall we say. I'll try and be diplomatic, very set in their approach.
Claire Scriven, the Primary Industries Minister, thanks for joining us this morning.
Interested in your thoughts on this issue, folks. 8223 0000. You can text us on the Police Home Care text line as well, 0448 08 1395. We're going to check traffic and be back with more shortly. Browse Undercover in Comfort for your certified pre-owned Toyota, the new Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Summerton Park.
Morning there. The roads aren't looking too bad today. Having a quick look around. We're accident breakdown free, so should have a relatively good run into work. Today got lights on the blink in a couple of spots. One of the city's Sturt Street at Whitmore Square, bit out of the way. Shouldn't give you too many headaches. Another one at Lyndon Park, Green Hill Road near Devereux Road. Show's up and running again. Folks starting to get there already this morning. Speed restrictions, Goulburn Road and Green Hill Road, so that will be slow a bit later in the morning. And got a Canberra McGill Road, McGill. Look for the RAA sign at over 400 independent RAA approved repairers across SA. You know you can trust them. because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings. Thousands gathered across Australia from Adelaide to Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, Brisbane and beyond for the March for Australia rallies. I am absolutely astounded that the Albanese government condemned the protests. There is no place for any type of hate in Australia. There was no hate, Prime Minister. Graham Goodings. There's lots of protests and demonstrations that you have not said a word for or against. There is far more hate. Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Let's make your life easier. With the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery, easier means you've got options. Easier means forgetting about your bills. Easier means $500,000 in your bank account. Get your home lottery tickets by midnight Friday and you could win $500,000 just for getting in early. Only 3 sleeps left. Make it easy for yourself and get your early bird tickets now. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14784.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
Some things are worth waiting for, like tickets to your favourite concert, waiting for a nice bottle of Red to breathe, or waiting for the kids to finally unpack the dishwasher. But waiting to get your air conditioner serviced just before summer or winter really hits? It's just not worth the pain. Get in touch with Morford Air now for servicing or a new system. Put it at the top of your to-do list. When it's too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air. morfordair.com.au.
Morford.
Break-ins and home invasions concern us all, but you don't have to be a victim. Swan has you covered with a complete lineup of easy-to-install home security solutions, like video doorbells with AI voice assistants, Max Ranger's strong and long-range wireless systems, and wired CCTV systems with 24/7 recording. Now is the right time to invest in a new Swan security solution with 20% off selected products, but only until September 7. Visit your local Swan retailer or swann.com.
Want to keep doing the things you love at any age? Whether you're recovering from injury, trying to ease muscle or joint pain, or simply staying active, FIVEAA physiotherapy-led strength training builds strength safely for all ages and conditions. Visit FIVEAA's National Open Day, Saturday, September 13 from 8 till 3. Discover FIVEAA at kieser.com.au. FIVEAA, kieser.com.au.
In your heaviest moments, the women of White Lady Funerals are here to unburden you and your family. Wherever you are, whatever you need, know that you can share in our strength. White Lady Funerals. Let our strength help you find yours.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
27 after 7. They just keep getting more and more colourful, these pictures we're getting sent through from Crows fans, fighting it out to be crowned.
They're getting good.
SA's most colourful Crows fan, because if you are this morning by 9 o'clock, declared the most colourful Crows fan, then you are going on Thursday night to the sold-out final against Collingwood. Karen from Paralawi. Karen.
That is good.
We'll we've got Karen's picture up on the Facebook and YouTube live stream now. Well done, Brookie. Karen has got a home. It looks like, I think it's a home office, Karen, but you wouldn't know. It could be your work office. I can't see any work being done there because it's entirely covered in Crows gear.
It doesn't so much look like a room. It looks like Crowmania.
It's got more Crows stuff than Crowmania. Sitting there with the hat on is Karen. She's got a Crows hat on. She's got every little Crow toy that I think has ever been, every iteration that's been sold, Crows and doggies with, and I reckon that might be even a panda, which unfortunately disqualifies you, Karen.
Come on, Will.
But
surely a panda in
balloons.
Crow's gear
gets you vote. I find that a confusing image. Posters
well, at least they're never going to breed.
That's true. All the footy stars posters. I reckon there's a fixture list pinned on the back wall. Everything that can be covered with Crows gear is, and some of it looks custom. And in fact, Karen's holding a whole bunch of folders and paperwork that's all in Crow's gear. That is just remarkable. Keep them coming in, folks. 024808 1395. I feel sorry for this one, Rory from West Croydon. I call this Wake Up Boys. We have a ticket to win. His kids are in bed and every scarf and beanie they own are covering them.
That's terrific.
He's sacrificing his children for the tickets on Thursday night.
Rory's just gone in there and
Rory, we love it.
Emptied the footy gear onto the sleeping children.
I think that's an excellent idea, Rory. Adelaide's most colourful Crows fan. Keep those pictures coming in. We'll get to some more very, very shortly. Shane in Tapanapa's called in. First hour, we were talking about the things you still call by their old name. Shane, good morning to you.
Hey, g'day, boys. You may not remember this, but and my wife gets a chuckle out of it every time I'm looking for sticky tape. I say, do you know where the Durex is?
Not on the bedside table.
And go Crows.
Shane, thank you. Good on you, Shane.
Yeah, a lot of people still say that, Durex, because that was the brand name for it. That became a brand name for something else.
That was the brand name. Gee, there are so many terrific pictures coming through. We'll keep running them through the Facebook and YouTube live stream over the morning. And then at 9 o'clock today, all thanks to the great people at CLK Legal, we'll announce who's getting along to Crows Collingwood on Thursday night and in the running to be upgraded to the McGarry Room with premium seats, dinner and a pre-game beverage package. CLK Legal, if you've got a personal injury claim, get the compensation you deserve. Visit clklegal.com.au.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 19 today with the 7:30 news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
The police chopper has been used to track a car in the northern suburbs. Patrols attempted to stop a Mini Cooper at Elizabeth Downs after midnight, but it sped off. Senior Constable Matt Brown says the driver abandoned the vehicle at Elizabeth Park.
Police dog Webster and his handler helped to locate the suspect, a 36-year-old Elizabeth Park man who was charged with numerous offences, including driving while disqualified and failing to comply with police directions.
Hillfront Court today. There's been another car fire. A vehicle was reported burning on Port Road at Welland. The alarm raised around 4 this morning. More choice for travellers. Jetstar has announced an additional 13 domestic flights into and out of Adelaide each week, unlocking more than 350,000 new fares. From late October, there'll be an extra 5 flights to Melbourne. Travel agent Pete Williams welcomes the extra flights, particularly to Brisbane and Perth.
We've probably been a little bit underserviced in that area, and what this will do is really bring those prices down on those popular holiday routes. And Melbourne, obviously always very popular. We've got a heap of capacity, but it just shows you that the demand's there.
A local tomato grower at the centre of a biosecurity crackdown has had restrictions lifted after more than a year. PIRSA has removed orders imposed on SA Tomato Proprietary Limited at Virginia. The restrictions were originally put in place to contain a tomato virus outbreak. Shadow Primary Industries Minister Nicola Centofanti says common sense has prevailed.
This decision is long overdue recognition that growers shouldn't be unfairly burdened with unworkable restrictions when a disease can't be eradicated. Our tomato industry is resilient, they're innovative, and they're essential to South Australia's food supply chain.
The opposition, Greens and Independents, will push the federal government to immediately release more home care packages. Around 200,000 elderly Australians are waiting for some form of service. The government had promised to release at least 83,000 home care packages in July. That'll now happen from November. The Chief Executive of Ageing Australia, Tom Simonson, says that's too late.
If you're no longer able to shower yourself without risking falling, or to manage your own wounds, of just not being able to clean their own home, how can you stay independent? That's why the home care system's so good. We're envied around the world for our home care system, but that's only okay if you can get into it.
Rudy Giuliani will receive America's highest civilian honour. He's getting a Presidential Medal of Freedom. President Trump making the announcement on social media. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Call Gliderol now. Order a new door with Operator before the end of September and receive 2 extra handsets.
Sturt's Tom Lewis has won the 2025 Magarey Medal. The midfielder says it's great recognition, but he's got a lot more to prove after coming back from serious injury.
It's not going to be the end, but it's going to be a great chapter. It's all part of a great story, and you've got your setbacks, but you've also got your highs as well. So this has been a massive high for me, obviously, and it's going to take a while to get over it, I think.
Sturt faced the Tigers on Sunday in the Sandful semi-finals, and 4 South Australian footy greats were inducted into the Football Hall of Fame last night, including Andrew Pays. Well, the Crows trained last night ahead of Thursday's first final against Collingwood. Josh Rochelle has been ruled out of a comeback in the qualifier. Alex de Minaur has been flying the Aussie flag at the US Open. He's through to the quarters after a straight sets win over Leandro Reedy.
Happy with the performance. Should have been a dangerous matchup. The way he's been playing with a lot of confidence, I knew that going in, and I'm very happy with the way I kind of went about my business. I stayed focused. I knew I had a job to get done, and I'm happy that I was able to get through in straight sets.
Well, Iga Swiatek is into the quarters in the women's draw. And former heavyweight boxer Joe Bugner has died at the age of 75. Bugner held the British, Commonwealth and European heavyweight titles and faced Muhammad Ali twice, including for a world title in 1975. That's 5AA Sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Morning there. She's looking pretty good for the running today. Racks and breakdown free in the majors, so a relatively smooth run to work. Got lights on the blink in a couple of spots, including the city. Sturt Street at Whitmore Square. No great delays through there. Also out of action, the lights are on Green Hill Road at Devereux Road at Linden Park. Speeds reduced around the showgrounds for the show, obviously. At Goodwood Road and Green Hill Road. That will be slow throughout this morning with lots of foot traffic. And got a camera, McGill Road, McGill. Start your journey with a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Save from $15,000 on select GLS models. Visit your nearest retailer today. Limited time only. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, mostly sunny, 19 today. A shower or two tomorrow, 17. Thursday, partly cloudy and 18. And 19 again on Friday. Right now, it's 10 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Here's the thing you'll love about a WEA course. It's not just learning, it's meeting. Meeting people with similar interests and learning together. It's great fun and it sure beats sitting in front of a screen. WEA has 22 language courses on offer and over 80 cooking and wine appreciation courses. For the adventurous, take an introduction to karate or dance through the ages learning Baroque, Renaissance and Regency dancing. For face-to-face learning you'll love, visit wea-sa.com.au.
30 years ago, Fred Hollows set up the Fred Hollows Foundation to make sure his vision of ending avoidable blindness would live on after he was gone. By leaving a gift in your will, you will create your own legacy and help Fred's vision live on. Wouldn't that be amazing?
What did he say?
He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. To learn more, visit hollows.org or call 1800 352 352.
How many times a day do you experience hand or wrist pain? If simple things like cooking, holding a cup of tea or coffee, and recreational activities are giving you pain, do something about it. At Grip Surgery, we specialise in hand trauma, carpal tunnel syndrome, osteoarthritis, joint replacement, sports injuries, nerve pain, and more. To get a grip on the life you loved before, free from hand pain, visit gripsurgery.com.au. That's gripsurgery.com.au.
Oh, I think the standout process, and I know that Marty talks about how his father painted for the royal family, they do treat you like royalty. The whole process from woe to go, they make you feel special and they do a special job on the job. So it was just that sort of attention to detail. The house was cleaner after they'd finished than it was when they started. You know, they are very thorough. They couldn't have taken any more care if they'd tried. I would have absolutely no hesitation in recommending paint professionals for any job, big or small.
There's something special about starting your journey in a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Save from $10,000 on select GLE models and from $15,000 on select GLS models with complimentary delivery fee across the SUV range. With spacious interiors, advanced driving technology and unmistakable presence, Mercedes-Benz SUVs are built for every kind of journey. Start your SUV journey at Mercedes-Benz Adelaide and Unley. Terms and conditions apply.
Harvey Norman clearance outlets at Marion and Jepps Cross are bursting at the seams. Discontinued, run out and brand new furniture and bedding from across Australia. prices are slashed for you to get a bargain. Clearance outlets at Marion Road, Marion and Jeff's Cross Homemaker. Tell them Jerry sent you. Furniture and bedding at Marion and Jeff's Cross. Harvey Norman Clearance Outlets.
Go, Harvey, go! It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
22 to 8, the search for Adelaide's most colourful Crows fan goes on. Sean says he painted his house. We're trying to work out whether he painted his house or it's an AI picture of his house. Is that actually a pic? Did you actually paint your house, Sean? Because that looks quite striking, shall we say. The entire thing, the roof is red. There's red, yellow. There's incredible. A large chunk of blue, and then the whole bottom of the house, there's a red and yellow line. And there's Christmas decorations on the lawn. There's just a lot going on here, Sean, that we need to get verified. No such conjecture around Maxine, who is high among the most colourful Crows fans. Maxine has sent through one picture of herself at the 2017 Grand Final with all the gear on, screaming at the camera. That's good. In her second picture, she sent through a picture of her Adelaide Crows Premiers tattoo at the top of her right leg. And in the third picture, she sent through a picture of herself cheering in Thailand at the Crows 2017 Grand Final with all the gear on. Maxine, you are a colourful Crows fan. There's no doubt about that.
I think that photo in Thailand must have been taken in the first quarter because she wouldn't have had that expression on her face for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Great picks, folks.
Keep them coming in. 044808 1395. Let's head to Canberra. Phil Curry, the political editor of the Australian Financial Review, joins us. Phil, good morning to you.
Morning, fellas.
This might be the least surprising data point in history today. It turns out that the federal government probably not going to hit their $1.2 million housing target.
Oh, yeah, that's a story that sort of comes up every couple of weeks, and then the government says, yeah, we will, and we move on. So that was that target that was agreed to by the National Cabinet, I think, back in 23, late November 23 or thereabouts, that from over the 5 years, from 24 to July 129, they'd try and build 1.2 million homes. It's actually sort of changed a bit because it was actually, as you said, it was a target, not a not a roll gold promise. The government, the federal government, put all this money on the table, many billions of dollars in incentive payments. So basically, they were saying to the states, "Well, you got all the red tape around, approvals and that sort of stuff. So here's some money on the table, and first in best dress, you clear those approvals and clear your red tape, and you'll get all these incentive payments if you build the most houses." So it's a bit of so they set the aim of 1.2 million. They didn't if you actually read the fine print, they didn't promise to build 1.2 million. They said that's we'll try and get there. So, but it's just got a life of its own now, and the cost of building staff is through the roof. The labour constraints, all that stuff they talked about at the productivity roundtable about this national construction code, which just makes it. I think it takes 50% now to longer to build a house now, and a lot more expensive than it did just like 20 years ago because of all the rules and regulations. So, well intended, but if they do get there, it will be a bit of a miracle.
Do you think, Phil, that there's a bit of an aspect to this though, where the feds don't really want to have the discussion, and equally I'd say the Libs are unsure as to how they enter the discussion as well, because it does feel like we're in this pincer movement where there's all of these overheads, all of this red tape and costs, as you mentioned, labour costs, inputs that are making housing so slow and unaffordable in Australia. But at the same time, we have let in 1 million people, more. That's part of it too, is it not?
Well, this is what we saw on the weekend, with those March for Australia rallies. I mean, there was, he got completely overshadowed by, all the lunatics and the Nazis turned up, and made it sort of easy from a political perspective to dismiss because of the unsavoury elements there. But there were people in those marches who were generally concerned about, whether it's real or not. Their firm perception is that immigration is one of the problems, behind housing availability, and it is. It's not the only one. There's other reasons, but clearly more people come in. They want houses, and we don't have enough, and someone's got to miss out. It's a pretty simple law of supply and demand. So, the government is just not on top of the migration debate. You know, they haven't released the permanent migration number for this financial year. Normally you would know that before the financial year starts. It's the thing, but it is sort of coming back to normal, Dave. So there's two numbers. There's the permanent migration, and that's most of those people are already living here, waiting for permanent residency, and that's 180,000 a year, and that's what the sort of carryover from the former government. But there's a thing called net overseas migration, and that's the total number of non-Australians who are coming and going, in 1 year, and that went through the roof after COVID. That's the million people you talk about, because it sort of was zero during COVID, then everyone flooded back in. You're talking foreign students, temporary workers, these sorts of people. And that was about 1 million in 2 years. And now I think the latest figure for last calendar year was 340,000. And I think before COVID it was in the high twos. So that is sort of pushing back down to where it was before COVID. But that real big burst after COVID has really heightened political sensitivities over migration and all the flow-on problems, whether it's housing or trying to get in a hospital or get a car park at your supermarket, these sorts of things. And it's pretty volatile out there.
Yeah, absolutely. To your point about Labor's attempt to sort of, dismiss these protests, I thought the worst example of that was the Victorian Police Minister, who described the people as unhinged grubs. Well, I'm sure that if you're running around with a National Socialist hoodie on, or if, like that scumbag here in Adelaide, you're holding a sign celebrating someone who's just murdered 2 police, you deserve that. But it felt to me a bit like, the famous Hillary Clinton deplorables line. To go as hard as they did in toto against everyone who was taking part misread the fact that there is significant mainstream concern over immigration.
Yeah, that you got to be careful not to delegitimise genuine concerns. That's right. So it's hard. I mean, as soon as the Nazis turn up, you lose the argument, right? So I would suspect a lot of people wouldn't go to those rallies because of that. Because who's going to be there?
Yeah,
they probably.
But they might agree with the sentiment, though.
Yeah, that's right. So, but they don't want to be tarnished with those awful people. So, and I think that by the end of yesterday, the politicians were making that point. The Prime Minister was. He said there were. Look, I acknowledge there were legitimate concerns in those marches. The Multicultural Minister Anne Ali was saying the same, but she said it's just too easy to conflate genuine concerns about immigration with racism, and these groups get in there and stir it up and start, singling out, like the Indian people and all these sorts of things, and it just gets nasty and ugly and sort of obscures what's probably, a legitimate point of concern. So. But look, it won't go away, or it might go away. Depends on who get the houses built and all those sorts of things. But it is something the government's really they sort of stick their head in the sand and they hope that they don't talk about it. No one notices it, but I think they do have to. The clear sentiment yesterday was they got to step up and explain what's going on and why.
Yeah.
And this was coming from all ends of the political spectrum, including David Pocock, who's as progressive as it gets. In the Senate, Dave sort of sits over there with the Greens, so it's not just a right thing or a left thing. It's across the spectrum.
And Phil, the Prime Minister has delivered an election promise to cap the cost of prescription medicines on the PBS at $25. Did this one move through without much concern through the Parliament? And when will people start to see the cheaper medicines?
Yeah, more debt. They just chuck it on the national credit card. Yeah, I think at the moment the maximum for a PBS is $32. That was a promise at the last election. If you're a pensioner, it's $7, and then they promised to drop that to $25. That comes in January 1st. When that takes effect, and that went through the Senate, quicker than anything. There's no resistance in the Senate anyhow these days. It's effectively a Labor Senate. If the Libs don't want something, then the Greens will back it, and they only just need the Greens, and I think everyone just waved it through. But, I know it's a good measure, and everyone will say beauty, another $7 off a prescription, but it is going into the debt and the deficit. Remember, all of this is borrowed, and I just always caution, those sorts of things. But, the government's out there parading it today, and most people will say beauty.
Good on you, Phil. Great stuff as always. Phil Curry, the National Political Editor for the Financial Review.
It's going up to 13 minutes to 8 and time to check traffic. All thanks to the excellent Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Somerton Park. We can browse undercover in comfort for your certified pre-owned Toyota.
Morning there. Roads are looking too bad today. Got a couple of lights on the blink this morning. One at Linden Park, Greenhill Road near Devereux Road. Another one in the city, Sturt Street, Whitmore Square. Speed restrictions around Wavell today for the show. Goulburn Road and Greenhill Road. Lots of folks to look out for them today. And got cameras, Briar Road, Felixstowe, Dawes Road at Door Park. South Australia is building for today and tomorrow. Find out what it means for you. Visit sasbuilding.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Kids don't want to wait. The sooner, the better. Every moment is a chance to learn and grow. And they're right, it is. The first few years of a child's development play a hugely important part in their future, in learning and in life. That's why the state government is rolling out 3-year-old preschool from 2026. Because the sooner they start, the further they can go. Learn more at flyingstart.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Local and experienced trade specialists.
Or a plumber or electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
There was this huge spider.
Really silly place for a letterbox.
Seriously, there were cows all over the road.
At FIVEAA Panel Services, we've heard it all. But the one thing we hear often is, when will my car be ready? In most cases, we can start work straight away, thanks to our state-of-the-art workshop and highly skilled team. Ask your insurance company for FIVEAA Panel Services. With over 45 years' experience, we'll get you back on the road sooner. FIVEAApanel.com.au.
Doing day-to-day things online has made our lives easier. Paying bills, shopping, banking. It all makes perfect sense to do online. But what doesn't make sense is doing your will online. It's fraught with potential problems and can leave a mess behind. From the simplest to the most complex wills and estate plans, Donlan Lawyers can answer your questions and help carry out your final wishes properly. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com, Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Imagine moving into a brand new apartment where everything is ready, waiting and designed for the way you want to live. Discover the perfect blend of comfort and style at Living Choice Flagstaff Hill Retirement Village. Our stunning move-in ready apartments are designed for easy living, surrounded by first-class amenities that make every day a little more enjoyable. From wellness facilities to vibrant social spaces, you'll find a community where life feels effortless and rewarding. Explore luxury retirement living at its best. livingchoice.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
9 minutes to 8 in an hour's time. We're going to announce the winner of our most colourful Crows fan competition. Yesterday, we were on the lookout for Adelaide's smartest Crows fan. This morning, it's our most colourful. So many wonderful pictures continue to come through on the. You can see them on the Facebook and YouTube live stream even as we speak. Those tickets given away by 9 o'clock. But remember, this is a cop this morning. You can enter at any moment right through until 5 to 9. So keep them coming in. 044808 1395 is the police home care text line, and send through your pictures, the evidence that mounts the case that you are the Adelaide's most colourful Crows fan.
In the criminal justice system, all defendants are innocent until proven guilty, either by confession, plea bargain, or trial by jury. This is one of those trials.
Been a lot of content on the program for Crows fans this week, and well, there might be, because the Crows are in a final Thursday night, vying to host a home prelim. So a lot of Crows content. So we thought we'd hand over the jury to every other football fan this morning. The $100 Samtas seafood voucher is up for grabs, as always, for the best quality seafood and best prices. Samtas Seafood's open 7 days, factory direct, Richmond Road. To all the other fans out there, throughout September, are you throwing your support behind the Crows or anyone but? The Crows or anyone but? the Crows. 82230000. Get calling now. This is open to every other football fan out there that feels underserviced this week. We want to give you $100 worth of Samtas seafood to help you get through.
We should get Rebecca Morse on the line because she's written a great piece for The Advertiser about, and she's married to a Wakeland, which says it all. But she's said in her piece, I would rather have my eyes pecked out than barrack for Adelaide, so you can forget this sort of, let's all do it for South Australia nonsense. You won't be getting that from me. I wonder what the Premier says. There's a question. Next time we get him on, he's an absolute port tragic.
The Premier actually understands being a football fan. I guarantee you he will say he's not cheering the Crows on. He'll be happy. He'll say something like this: I'll be happy for their fans and people in South Australia if they win, but personally as a Port man, I won't be cheering for them.
I don't know if he would. I don't know if he would. I think, well, part of it is privately, he might actually be willing on a Crows win because the residual feel-good benefit of that heading towards an election, it totally changes the way people feel about themselves.
It has a feel-good factor.
It changes the way they feel about the state. I mean, the thing about 97, 98, John Olsen in his big interview on the Tiser on the weekend, and as an ex-premier, that was the best thing that had happened to South Australia since the state bank collapse. And people were leaving the state in their droves, and it created this, spreading it over 2 years.
He'll say something like, I think it'd be great for the state, but you won't see me with a crow scarf on, or he'll make some joke. If you're listening, Premier, you want to clarify, give us
what's
a call.
Your position?
What's your position on the Adelaide Football Club in September? We're asking our jurors this morning, you cheering on the Crows or anyone but? 82230000 is the number. Let's go to juror number 1, who's in the running for the $100 worth of Samtas seafood. For all football fans that aren't Crows supporters in South Australia, you cheering on the Crows or anyone but? Juror number 1, what say you?
Good morning. I'll be cheering on a couple of teams that are playing in the West. Until that is sorted out, I'll then get on to the Crows because exactly what you said, it's great for the state. But until one of those teams obviously gets knocked out in the West on Saturday at 7:10.
Funny, juror number 1. You've revealed yourself a bit.
It's a little bit like Quentin.
Now, juror number 2's in Albertons. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Morning, juror number 2.
I've had 5 text messages in 40 seconds saying I better ring in. And Premier, don't worry about calling in. I've got you. I just want every Crows fan to consider what they would be doing if and when the shoe was on the other foot in recent years. And I think Quentin, I'm with you, buddy. And any Geelong fan or Collingwood fan, I'm with you. Any Hawthorn or GWS fans out there, I'm with you. And if there's a Docker fan listening, I'm with you.
Thank you, juror number 2. Juror number 3, good morning.
Yes, I am here to ruin the jury because I'm a Crows supporter myself. And bugger everyone else because I wouldn't go for you. And Malinowskis, I hope he doesn't take the free tickets and all that. If he's a true football supporter, stay away. We don't want you.
Thank you, juror number 3.
Hard line.
Yeah, I think that juror would be kicked off the jury. But I think in this context, interesting to hear from them all the same.
Turned up for the impanelment process painted black and teal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Juror number 4, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I go for the Crows. Not going for any of the others. The Crows have been waiting long enough. They deserve to win the premiership.
All right, thank you, juror number 4. Juror number 5, good morning.
Whatever.
G'day, guys. I'll back the Crows. I used to back Port when they were playing any Victorian team. And any team but a Victorian team that get in and play the grand final. And Malinowskis will lap it right up because he can't stay out the bloody spotlight long enough. He'll love it.
Thank you, juror
I reckon
number
there's
5.
a big chance if Mally did come out and say, look, South Australians, we are all Adelaide Crows supporters now, that Tom Cootes and Tonus would step down from cabinet as a matter of principle.
There'd be a leadership challenge.
They might actually knock him off. Actually, you know who is even worse than Cootes? Mulligan. He comes across as the world's most level-headed guy.
Not when it comes to footy.
We have him in here every month, but apparently he is just feral, Port. Like, he is just off the charts.
I'm just thinking through the recent South Australian political history. Well, in the term of the Malinowskis government, is the Crows potentially winning the flag the closest thing they've had to a wedge issue?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious that the only really out and proud senior Crows supporter in the Malinowskis government is Chris Picton, and as punishment, Mally did two things. He promised to fix ambulance ramping, and he gave him the health portfolio.
Yeah, they gave him the worst job in politics.
So
right
you
now.
go with that smart guy.
Justice for Chris Picton.
That's right.
All right. Well, I think the Premier's going to have to put out a statement today and clarify his position on the Crows.
Public has a right to know.
Yeah, I think so. It's commitment to transparent government. All right, 5AA News is coming up. Breaking it out is not too far away. And then before 9 o'clock, we're going to announce the winner of our most colourful Crows fan competition. If it's you, you're getting along on Thursday night. We've got 2 tickets. Still plenty of time to get your evidence in that shows you are Adelaide's most colourful Crows fan. 0848 08 1394. Oh, actually, one little thing. Controversy in the last half hour. Sean, I think it was Sean, sent there a picture of his painted house.
Is it AI?
It's AI, Sean.
Wow. You were onto it, Will.
I smelled a rat.
You can't trust anything these days, can you?
Well, it's part of, I'm so cynical, I don't believe anything I see. I just zoomed in around a few of the edges and I went, that doesn't quite look right. We've confirmed it's AI. Sean, you are disqualified.
At Coles, make Dad's Day chock full with great half-price specials. Like half-price Ferrero Rocher Diamond Gift Box, 300 grams, now just $16.50. Shop in-store or online at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
At Holistic Care SA, we're focused on capacity building, not just care. We help people with disability gain the support, skills and confidence for independent living. Whether it's creating a resume, catching a bus to the footy, or learning to cook independently in your home or in one of ours, Holistic Care SA makes those milestones happen. For a friendly chat about supported independent living, visit holisticcaresa.com.au, because everyone deserves the chance to become who they're meant to be.
Harris Scarf has the perfect gift for Dad, like selected men's polos from just $19.99. From barware to blenders, grooming to gadgets, we've got every kind of Dad covered. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices.
For over 50 years, Gliderol has been manufacturing and installing garage doors for South Australian homes. Spring is almost here, so why not improve the street appeal and value of your most prized possession? Order a new Gliderol door with operator before the end of September and you'll receive 2 extra handsets. Plus, we'll remove your existing door for free. Call Gliderol for a free measure and quote on 1300 799 144 or go to gliderol.com.au. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 19 today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
For the best price, quality and same-day service, trust Complete Windscreens. RAA approved, Main North Road, Prospect.
A car has been tracked by Road and Air in the northern suburbs by police. They attempted to stop a Mini Cooper at Elizabeth Downs after midnight, but it sped off. The driver then abandoned the vehicle at Elizabeth Park. Senior Constable Matt Brown says a 36-year-old man is facing a string of charges,
including driving while disqualified and failing to comply with police directions. The car was impounded for 28 days and he's been refused bail and will appear in court today.
The federal government is defending its rollout of home care packages as 200,000 people are still waiting for some sort of service. The new home care system was due to start in July, but that's been pushed out to November. The opposition is demanding at least 20,000 packages are released immediately, but Health Minister Mark Butler says elderly Australians that currently need high-level care are getting it.
We've been delivering additional packages, not just the packages, as you say, that become free because people have moved out of them for some reason. We've been delivering additional packages pretty much every budget or budget update. We did it again in the budget update in December, just before Christmas.
Jetstar flights into and out of Adelaide are being expanded, an additional 13 domestic flights each week, unlocking more than 350,000 new fares. From late October, there'll be an extra 5 flights to Melbourne and another 4 per week from Adelaide to Brisbane and Perth. The Cheaper Medicines Bill has passed Parliament and will come into effect from the 1st of January. It means prescription drugs listed on the PBS will cost $25, the lowest level in 20 years. Pensioners and concession card holders will pay $7.70 per script until 2030. Tony Mockbell's long-awaited appeal begins in Melbourne today. The drug kingpin is hoping to have his convictions overturned on the basis that his former lawyer Nicola Gobbo was a police informant. Lawyer Justin Quill believes it's pretty likely he'll be walking free and have his convictions quashed.
We saw when Mockbell got bail, the appeal court noted the strength of his case. So I think that was a really good indication that I think he's pretty likely to win. I'd be surprised if he doesn't win, frankly.
And ailing Darren Hinch says he's considered voluntary assisted dying. The 81-year-old says seeing the decline of a good friend was miserable and he couldn't live like that. He's told the Neil Mitchell Asks Why podcast his own health isn't good, but he's not at that point yet.
I'm very lucky in that my brain is still seems to be going. Some people will dispute that. But it seems
they always did.
It seems to be working. But if my brain went, I've told my medical attorney, don't revive me.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Call Gliderol now. Order a new door with Operator before the end of September and receive 2 extra handsets.
It's a big week for Sturt's Tom Lewis. While he prepares for this weekend's semi-final against the Tigers, he's won the McGarry medal. He has a message for fellow players after taking out the Sandful's highest individual honour.
I hope this helps younger players that don't get drafted, you know what I mean, miss opportunities, that you can still be the best player. You know, where that ends or where that lies, you don't know. But it's telling the story, and other people and younger players that don't get drafted can still look up to something like this.
The start of AFL finals is fast approaching. The Crows trained last night at Adelaide Oval, which is where they face Collingwood on Thursday night in a qualifier. To tennis, Alex de Minaur has advanced to the quarters at the US Open. The Aussie's next opponent is Felix Auger-Aliassime.
This week he's obviously playing some incredible tennis, and he's got a lot of weapons. He's got a great serve. He's got a great forehand. He looks to dictate whenever he can. So in that matchup, for me, it's all about trying to disrupt his rhythm.
And former heavyweight boxer Joe Bugner, also known as Aussie Joe Bugner, has died. He was 75. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Morning there, got lights on the blink in a couple of spots this morning. One at Whitmore Square at Sturt Street of the City, another one at Linden Park, Greenhill Road near Davro Road. Speeds reduced around Goodwood Road and Greenhill Road for the show. A lot of foot traffic this morning, so take it easy if you're heading in that way. And got cameras McGill Road, McGill, and Hallett Road at Stonyfell. Father's Day is this Sunday. Buy a barbie you'll love and save at Barbecues Galore. Plus epic gifts under $30. Shop Barbecues Galore now in store and online. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, mostly sunny today, a top of 19, a shower or two tomorrow 17, Thursday partly cloudy 18 and Friday 19. Right now it's 11 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
It's game.
This morning, but it's certainly bright. It's a nice sort of a morning outside, isn't it? It does, dare I say, have a bit of a spring feel to it.
Good for the show. It's going to be
a
good.
great
After
day to go to the show.
Rough start on the weekend. Saturday wasn't that good. Sunday was a bit better, but Sunday was still pretty cold and overcast. But it was nice there yesterday, and it's going to be nice for the rest of the week.
Every time I click on the forecast, I see 25 on Saturday. I think I've clicked on the wrong city, but it is Adelaide, and it is happening on Saturday. Thursday night for the footy, we've just heard. We heard from the Bureau a little bit earlier, will be dry. That's the latest forecast. So it'll be perfect conditions for footy at Adelaide Oval on Thursday night. If you want to hear more about it, make sure you tune into the sports show tonight. Campo will be on thanks to Unique Home-Style Foods. Speaking of the footy, we're looking for the most colourful Crows fan in South Australia, and crikey, we're getting some cracking entries. They continue to get stronger and stronger and more colourful over the course of the morning. Keep sending them through on 048008 1395. Homes, offices, bedrooms. People have dressed up their children this morning. They've showed us their tattoos. their pets, their signs they've made.
What about
Someone
this
just
one?
sent through a picture of a Boeing 777.
That was the first flight by Emirates into Adelaide, and the pilot. I don't think you can actually wind down the window on a jumbo jet,
No,
not like
you
in
can't.
Flying High, where it's got the windscreen wipers on it. But I watched that again last week. It was on TV. God, that movie is sensational. But yeah, no, the pilot had the crow scarf.
It's our good mate Jared, the pilot.
Jared, yeah.
That is excellent, Jared. That is
It's traditional. Whether you're in the car or flying a jumbo jet, after a big wind, you got to hang the scarf
You got to
out the
hang
window.
the scarf out. He did precisely that.
It's getting a bit windy in here.
These are going to be tough to judge. These are going to be really tough. But so you've got until 9 o'clock, 5 to 9 when we'll announce the winner. Keep them coming in, 0480 08 1395. And as you can see, there's a tattoo. Facebook and YouTube live stream. I like, I think it's Maxine's tattoo.
Yeah, Maxine.
It says Adelaide Crows premiers, but there's no year on it. So it's
Tell
just
you
sort
what,
of like a blank check.
If you were standing next to Maxine at the footy, you'd know you were there.
You'd know you're alive.
You would.
It's time for Breaking at 8.
Well, during the last election campaign, one of the many promises Anthony Albanese made went to ending government secrecy. He hit out at the secrecy of the Scott Morrison era and said that if elected, Labor would bring back the transparency. They were his words. Well, a lot of people are wondering if those words were in fact weasel words, because today the government is going to bring in new legislation which has been described as the biggest restrictions to freedom of information laws in almost 2 decades. If the legislation is passed, it means that for the first time, Labor federally is going to force Australians to pay access to most Commonwealth documents under the freedom of information laws. Their argument goes that the government is under siege at the moment from online bots, even from foreign actors who are putting in dodgy FOIs, trying to find out information or just trying to basically clog up government departments with all of these sort of procedural requests. But transparency critics are saying it's nothing other than an attempt to control the flow of information.
If you've ever filled out an FOI request, one of the great impediments is the amount of paperwork you have to, and writing of the description and filling it all out. AI makes it simple.
Well, that's right.
You could click your fingers and say, I want all documents pertaining to, whatever your heart's desire, and you could probably get it written in 5 seconds. So that'd be the government's explanation for why they need to start charging.
Yeah, but the flip side of it, though, is that the discussion we were having at this very time yesterday around the My Aged Care home packages, all of that information about how many people are waiting came out through FOI.
Absolutely.
As does so much other important information. Rex Patrick is a former senator for South Australia. He's also Australia's preeminent transparency campaigner, and we've got him on the line now. Rex, what's your take on this? You heard our discussion there. You know what the government's rationale is. Do you think it's all a little bit too cute, though, on their part?
Well, good morning to you guys and your listeners. Look, firstly, you talked about Anthony Albanese promising transparency, and yet over the last 4 years, we've seen increases in the number of refusals in the Senate to get access to information, and also, just as troublesome FOI. So in many respects, you can change the FOI laws, but in actual fact, unless they're properly implemented, we'll get nowhere. We'll just end up with a situation where we are now, where there's, you're either in a camp where there's no information that flows to you, or you end up in an appeal process to try and fight to get access to information. Now, in respect of some of the changes that have been mentioned this morning in the news, the charges, look, I think everyone would be sympathetic to the idea. We don't want bots just jamming up the system, and maybe a charge can help in that regard. And look, I'm not objectionable to a charge for a legitimate FOI, provided that you get a good service. Provided, in my case, I'm always appealing to overturn bad decisions.
Yeah.
And so, it's problematic if you pay a fee and you don't get a proper answer having paid that fee. And of course, there are mechanisms to say if you are not well off, if you are in financial difficulty, you'd want to have a mechanism where people can actually get a free FOI, and that happens in the state domain. in relation to changes to fearless advice, to protect fearless advice, I mean, how fearless is advice if you don't want the public to see it? It's just a crazy oxymoron. And finally, they're also talking about anonymity in relation to FOIs. Look, there is a place for anonymity. I actually do FOIs for companies all the time who want to find out what the government's doing. They kind of get on with government, but they half suspect there's something going on. And unfortunately, if they put the FOI in, there's retribution. So, there is a place for anonymity. This will have to be very carefully navigated. But the big change that needs to take place is a culture change right across the public service.
I know you know the ATO whistleblower well, Rex, and you think about a case like that where if any attempt was made to bolster his argument to find out exactly what the ATO was up to, that in the early stages word could get back to the department, could it not?
Well, it could, and that's always a problem. Again, that's one of the reasons why anonymity. If Rex Patrick puts in an FOI, an FOI officer will just go, "Oh, that's Rex being Rex." But if someone else potentially puts in an FOI, they'll say, "What is this person up to?" And that can, of course, cause a problem. But the reality is, even in terms of litigation, if you want to try and fix something, FOI is such a slow process. I'm currently, in fact, today, in about less than an hour, I'll be back in the Administrative Review Tribunal trying to defend the position of the Information Commissioner who granted me access after a 4-year fight. She granted me access to documents about our history in Timor, and the government has appealed that.
That's after you had that. You had a win in the first instance against the FOI Commissioner on FOI, did you not?
Well, the FOI Commissioner is not so much a win against her. I appealed an erroneous decision of the department, in fact, the War Memorial, and the Information Commissioner on appeal said the War Memorial was wrong and granted me access. Immediately, the War Memorial appealed that. They changed the argument, so they didn't win on their first set of arguments. They actually changed their arguments. I'm actually involved in a matter today where I don't have to do very much work because I'm not allowed in to the tribunal. They're going to mount their arguments as to why the Information Commissioner was wrong in total secrecy. I don't get to hear their arguments, and they're using a senior counsel to argue their case. So the most top-rate barristers is at your expense, at the taxpayer's expense, is being used to argue a case as to why the Information Commissioner was wrong.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the legislation. And to Phil Curry's point earlier about the Greens and the Libs, one or the other normally waving things through, this might actually be something where both sides unite against it. Rex Patrick, Transparency Advocate, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
It's a good issue, this. So I know from experience in the state parliament, it costs about $43 to do an FOI. And as Rex said, that's not, whilst the change creates another barrier to getting information, the biggest impediment is just the way in which these things are adjudicated. And, to use in cricket where the umpire always gives the benefit of the doubt to the batsman, the benefit of the doubt always goes towards not releasing information.
Yeah.
And the information is almost never someone asking for things like the whereabouts of Australia's submarine fleet.
Yeah.
We know where they are. They're in dry dock.
Well, a good example of that is the recent story we did about the emails from constituents and seafood industry people that were bouncing around from department to department. From memory, there were 23 pieces of correspondence that were released, but there were 100 that were found. Now, what was the argument for not releasing the other 77?
Yeah, and there would be technicalities around all sorts of stuff that just goes to the opposite of transparency. The whole process is designed to make it as hard as possible for stuff to come out, and that which tends to be the tip of the iceberg. So I think Rex is onto a good issue here.
Absolutely.
Now, in a moment, brace yourselves, listeners, because we're going to hear from some dad jokes. Okay?
Oh,
8. Yep. We can get through this together. 8223 0000 is the number. Come on, dads. Ahead of Father's Day this Sunday. We have a $100 Charlesworth hamper to give away this morning, and the dad joke of the morning will go in the running to win $500 cash as well. Give Dad the goods. A gift from Charlesworth Nuts this Father's Day because fresh nuts taste better. So if you've got a dad joke for us, we actually got we got a laugh out of one yesterday for our sins.
About how do you sell a chicken to a deaf person?
Yes.
You want to buy a chicken? That was excellent.
8223 0000. If you've got a dad joke for us, get calling right now. We'll give someone $100 Charlesworth hamper.
That was my favourite ever TV clanger. Sandra Sully used to love old late night Sully on 10 News. One night she goes, "After the break, new hope for the dead, the deaf." I tell you what, if it was new hope for the dead,
you wouldn't be running it after the first break.
No, you'd probably lead with it.
Should have been earlier in the bulletin, that one.
Right.
Browse undercover in comfort for your certified pre-owned Toyota at the new Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Summerton Park.
Morning there at Keswick, a smash Richmond Road and Anzac Highway causing delays. Lights on the blink in a few spots this morning, including in the city, Sturt Street at Whitmore Square, also at Linden Park, Green Hill Road near Devereux Road. Adelaide Show up and running, so speed restrictions on Goodwood Road and Green Hill Road this morning. She's a bit sluggish as we speak and got a camera right now. Aldershot Road at Lonsdale. MG is giving you $2,000 cash back on the MG3 and MG ZS, plus a 10-year warranty. T's and C's apply. Visit your MG dealer today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
It's September, and as the mighty Adelaide Crows roll into finals, the crowd in raptures. 5AA will be there every step of the way. Stay across the Crows' finals charge with Adelaide's most passionate voices.
Where's all the haters now, Rowie? And listen to the crowd!
For all things Crows and AFL finals,
They are scoring like an avalanche again.
it has to be 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Deliver more with Toyota, the world's #1 forklift brand. Choose from a great range including pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts, right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
Is your outdoor area living up to its potential? If not, speak to Luba House and transform your outdoor area with an opening and closing roof that's ready for next summer. An SA family-owned business, Luba House do everything. Planning, design, council approvals, local manufacturing and installation, so you'll have peace of mind it's done right. Don't wait any longer. Find out more with a free design, measure and quote. Bring your outdoor area to life with Luba House. lubahouse.com.au.
In homes, in aged care, in hospitals, in those deeply human moments, Calvary is here. Calvary cares for South Australians from birth to end of life. And with our range of integrated services, we can make it easy to care for you in hospital, your own home, or in your aged care residence. Across Adelaide and as far as Victor Harbour to the Flinders and the Riverland, we're here for you. Calvary, celebrating 125 years of connected care.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre. Freestyle Libre is a small wearable sensor that monitors your glucose levels and trends and sends them straight to your phone. Instant up-to-date feedback. No finger pricks. How good is that? And you can trial Freestyle Libre for only $15. Just head to freestylelibre.com.au to find out how. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use. Read warnings before purchase. Free yourself from finger pricks with Freestyle Libre.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
22 minutes after 8, prepare to wince because it's time for dad jokes. We have $100 worth of Charlesworth nuts to give away, and the best dad joke of the morning goes in the running to win a $500 bundle of cash, all thanks to Charlesworth. Give Dad the goods, a gift from Charlesworth Nuts this Father's Day, because fresh nuts taste better. We had 3 yesterday. 3 more dad jokes for you this morning. Scott in Tanunda, good morning to you.
Yes, morning, fellas. I kept telling my son he had to knock on the fridge door before he opened it, and he kept going, why? I said, well, there might be a salad dressing.
Thank you, Scott. That's exactly the kind of area we're looking for. John in Wingfield, good morning.
Good morning, boys. Why are there no sardines in Townsville?
No idea.
They're all in cans.
Excellent. Thank you,
nice
John.
Regional dad joke.
That tickled Angie McBride's fancy, that one. Let's go to Alan in Morfett Vale. Morning, Alan.
Yeah, good morning. A skeleton walks into a bar and he orders a beer and a mop and a bucket. Boom, boom. Think about it.
A beer and a mop and a bucket.
He's a skeleton. He drinks the beer. He needs the mop and the bucket.
Well, it's not going anywhere, is it?
Oh, my goodness. All right. Thank you, Alan. Maybe we're just a bit slow.
Is that segment over yet? Let's give it to John. What do you think?
John.
For the cans.
John, you've got the Charlesworth hamper coming your way.
I like this one on the text line. My uncle just lost his job as an archaeologist after 40 years. He says that his career is in ruins. Thank you.
The $100 Charlesworth Nuts gift hamper, and of course, now in the running is John to win that $500 in cash.
Love Charlesworth Nuts.
Fantastic. Good Father's Day gift ideas.
Market
right
mix. If you're listening, kids, market mix.
So how many more days are we doing dad jokes for, Angie?
Whole
the rest
week,
of the week? We're doing dad jokes till Friday? Oh, dear.
Hey, is anyone going to Indonesia? Anyone going to Bali in the coming days? Because the federal government, DFAT, has just changed its travel warning to take extreme caution. This is the craziest story. It's actually a cost of living story, and it's also a story about housing affordability and availability in or across Indonesia.
And politicians' perks.
Oh, unbelievable. So the Indonesian parliament decided in its eternal wisdom that it would afford a luxuriant new housing allowance to all of its MPs that stands at 10 times the minimum wage. And God knows what the minimum wage is in Indonesia. I'm imagining it's not as high as it is in Australia. But a tenfold, 10 times the amount that people actually earn, the average Indonesian actually earns. So what's happened is there's just been this full-on civil uprising that's been popping up in all different parts of the country. It started in Makassar, which is the very traditionally Muslim area of the southern island of Sulawesi, which is way up near the Philippines. Amazing part of the world. The northern end's massively Christian, the southern end's massively Muslim. But anyway, people there started, I think they set fire to the local police station. The same thing happened in Surabaya, which is in East Java. Then in Yogyakarta, there was a protest. That's where the Borobudur temple is, big tourist town. 3 people died there. But there's this poor bloke who was like a little kaki lima delivery man selling his satés or something with his pull cart. He got run over and killed by the Indonesian equivalent of the Star Force.
Yeah.
And he's become like the sort of human face of this battle.
Well, that kicked it into, once that happened, all bets were off.
So even though Bali marches to its own drum politically and culturally, there are specific travel warnings for all of Indonesia, including Bali. Now, it's unbelievable. Like, some of the protesters have actually found out where the politicians live. The finance minister had his house totally ransacked. And there's other MPs who've had their houses pillaged too. And this is despite the fact that the parliament has announced that it's backtracking on the changes. The Indonesian president is meant to be heading to China for talks. He's cancelled the trip. It's a huge story.
Yeah, it's a massive story. Just put it in Australian context. So the national minimum wage in Australia, if you prorate out the minimum hourly wage to a full-time wage, it's $49,296 a year. So it'd be the equivalent of the Australian Parliament gifting every member of Parliament $500,000 as a sort of housing allowance.
That's a staggering amount of money.
I don't think Australians would stand for that either.
No, but they're pretty strict in Indonesia. They've got very tight rules about public disobedience. If you want to hold any type of protest, you need to get a permit first, and often the protests are refused. No protests are allowed to go after 6 p.m. And you think about, like, the modern history of the country, dating back to the brutal Sukarno to Suharto transition after 66, where it was the Communist Party uprising there. They all got wiped out, massacres all over the country. So it looks like the Indonesian government is at risk of actually losing control of civil order.
And travel advice has been updated in keeping with what's happening over there as well for Australian travellers. Let's take a break. 5AA News is coming up. After the break, we want to hand over this segment to you because we're going to give you access to Mike Steer, the Executive Director of SARDI. Now, Mike Steer is the guy that sits in the room with the Premier and the Environment Minister, Susan Close, when they talk about, well, what's happening with the bloom? Where's it going? How can we affect it? If you've got any question that you feel has been unanswered or unasked for that matter, give us a call right now and you can chat directly with Mike Steer, the government's expert on the algal bloom. 8223 Any question you like, we'll put it through. You can come on and ask it yourself to Mike Steer, who will join us in the studio next.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. With 40 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Wayne from Go Vita Mount Barker. Breathe easy with Nutrivital sinus congestion and horseradish. Traditionally used in Ayurvedic medicines to ease hay fever and in Western herbal medicines to relieve common cold symptoms. Save 40% while stocks last. Always read the label and follow directions for use.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Semaphore and Tanunda.
It's showtime at Wayville Hyundai, and we want to show you how good servicing your car can be. Want free parking for the Royal Show? Get your car serviced at Wayville Hyundai. Roll up, because there's even more with a $25 food and drink coupon and a free car wash and vacuum. Plus, you can service your car now and pay later with Afterpay. Showtime bookings are now open. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, opposite the showground.
September is savings month. For great tasting endless water at the best possible price, call Puretap now on 133502. It's a quality product manufactured right here in SA at the best possible price. The sun's coming back and September is savings month at Puretap. Don't waste time searching, call Puretap now, 133502. If it's price and quality you want, call Puretap now, 133502. We could be in your area this week.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny and 19 today with the 8:30 news. Good morning, I'm Mel Usher.
Chipped windscreen. RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
A man has been arrested after being tracked by Road and Air by SAPOL. Senior Constable Matt Brown says they attempted to stop a Mini Cooper at Elizabeth Downs after midnight.
The vehicle sped off, was last seen heading southbound towards Elizabeth Park, and so extra patrols including Polair and a police dog were called in to assist. The car was tracked to Butterfield Road in Elizabeth Park, where the driver abandoned the vehicle.
A 36-year-old man was located nearby. He's been charged with numerous offences, including driving while disqualified and failing to comply with police directions, and will front court today. The Albanese government is being urged to immediately release thousands of home care services to clear a massive backlog. Michael Packey has more.
A new home care system had been due to start in July, but some aged care providers argued for a 4-month delay as they prepared for the change. That's led to a backlog of at least 200,000 elderly Australians waiting for a home service. Tom Simonson from Ageing Australia says the sector is now ready and the government should immediately release thousands of packages.
We're envied around the world for our home care system, but that's only okay if you can get into it.
Health Minister Mark Butler argues the time frame must remain in place.
We can't just release packages. We've got to be confident that they won't just sit there abstractly in the system.
The government says older Australians currently in need of high-level care are getting the help they require.
Responders are sifting through the rubble trying to find survivors of an earthquake in eastern Afghanistan which has killed more than 800 people. Thousands more are injured after the magnitude 6 earthquake struck the remote mountainous area. The UN's Charlie Goodlake says entire villages have been destroyed.
It's a very remote area of Afghanistan and it's very difficult to reach there. We've only been able to reach with the authorities through helicopters for the most part of today. So you can imagine that the numbers will rise significantly in the days to come.
The longer toddlers spend on screens, the less time they spend learning to talk. Gabrielle Hodson has more.
Researchers at the Central Michigan University College of Medicine have created an overview of 40 international studies on what happens when kids are given screens. The risk of cognitive impairment was found to be greatest in 3 to 7-year-olds. News Corp says one study even suggested greater screen times led to a lower IQ. Research also found screen time affected motor and language development, with some toddlers suffering poor comprehension and expression. An Australian study found a 3-year-old watching the average 3 hours of screen time was likely to miss out on 1,100 adult words a day.
Kim Novak has received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Venice Film Festival. The now 92-year-old who starred in Vertigo and Bell, Book and Candle given the Golden Lion to a standing ovation. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Call Gliderol now. Order a new door with operator before the end of September and receive 2 extra handsets.
Former heavyweight champion Joe Bugner has died in Brisbane. He went toe-to-toe with Muhammad Ali not once but twice. Boxing great Jeff Fennick says he leaves behind a remarkable legacy.
He just taught me if you work hard enough and you love what you're doing, you can be involved in it for a long, long time. And Joe was just remarkable at the age of 40-odd when he came to our gym, and he showed us all that he still thought he was 28.
No surprises at last night's McGarry medal count, with Sturt midfielder Tom Lewis walking away the winner. He polled maximum votes in 5 consecutive matches, ending up with 33. Well, the start of AFL finals is just days away. The Crows trained last night at Adelaide Oval, which is where they face the Magpies on Thursday night in a qualifier. And in tennis, Aussie Alex de Minaur is through to the quarterfinals at the US Open. Also on the winners list, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Iga Swiatek and Naomi Osaka. That's 5AA Sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
G'day there at Keswick, a crash, Richmond Road, Ransack Highway, Clearview, Burstwater Main, Hampstead Road, near Glenburnie Avenue. Lights on the blink of the city, Sturt Street at Whitmore Square and Linden Park. Got lights playing up to Green Hill Road near Devereux Road. Slow going at Goodwood Road and Green Hill Road. Speed restrictions for the show, which is starting up soon. And got a camera right now, Main South Road, O'Halloran Hill. Need a good night's sleep? Invest in the best at Harvey Norman September on now. Amazing deals on Tempur mattresses, bonus offers and more. Go Harvey Norman September on now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather, and mostly sunny today with a top of 19. A shower or two tomorrow, 17. Partly cloudy, 18 on Thursday, 19 again on Friday. Right now it's 12 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. The National Tiles' famous annual winter spend and save must end today. Spend $4,000 will only charge you $2,750. Spend $2,000 will only charge you $1,450. Or spend $1,000 will only charge you $750. But it absolutely must end today. So rush into a National Tile store near you or go online at nationaltiles.com.au now and save. Conditions apply.
The most exhilarating motorsport weekend of the year is here. A brand new endurance epic, the AirTouch 500, September 12 to 14. 500 kilometres of full throttle supercars action, alongside the international stars of the FIA TCR World Tour and Australia's biggest support program. Plus there's trackside camping, live music, food trucks and entertainment for the whole family. And kids 15 and under, they're in free. The AirTouch 500 at the Bend. Tickets at thebend.com.au.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
24 minutes to 9. One thing we really like to do on the program is give you a direct access to the people that make decisions and can explain the things that are going on around your world. And there's no bigger story in South Australia in 2025 than the algal bloom. Mike Steer is the Executive Director of SARDI, the South Australian Research Development Institute, and joins us live in the 5AA Breakfast Studio. And we very much, Mike, and good morning to you, want to make this an opportunity for our listeners to call in and ask you questions. But I want to start with a question. I think this is funny because I asked it of you when you first walked in, and you said you must get this question 10 times a day. And I said naively, are there any rays of sunshine on the algal bloom front? And it sounds like, as you said, you get that one a lot.
I do get that one a lot, and thanks for having me. Yes, I think what we've learnt back from when this started in March, and the history that we've seen with algal blooms in the world and in South Australia is they typically don't last for very long. And so when this one started in March, and we thought, the first sort of big storm that'll come through April, May will blow it away. And it didn't. And then we thought, well, the second one will probably do that. And it didn't. So we're at that stage now where we're understanding more about this species and how resilient it is in a changing environment. So I'd love to be able to provide a level of insight. And I think even the experts around the world, we had the grandfather of harmful algal bloom science come and visit us a couple of weeks ago. And even he said that with his 40 years of experience, he can't predict what's going to happen here.
How did it get here in the first place, Mike? Or is that the wrong question? Was it already here in small amounts, or what's the go?
Yeah, the species group that we're interested in is called Karenia. It's a phytoplankton, and it's part of our natural community. It's a essential part of the food chain.
So nothing brought it here.
No,
it was here. Yeah.
No, so it's not been introduced, and it's not something that we aim to eradicate. It's a functioning part of our ecosystem. There's quite a lot of different species. There's thousands of different species of phytoplankton, and there's only a handful that are harmful or that have properties that make them harmful. And in this situation, this is where this Karenia species has had the appropriate environmental conditions to proliferate. And now that it's in the Gulf, it seems to be hanging on.
All right, let's throw it over to our listeners to ask some questions. You've got Mike Steer, the Executive Director of SARDI, on the line. Milo, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, hi, Mike. My question is to do with the role of the marine heat wave. My worst fear is that the marine heat wave caused the death of sea life, and then the algal bloom are feeding on that. There's been a paper come out recently in the last month or two saying that the southern AMOC may have reversed, and the whole ocean is changing in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, good one, Milo, and great insight. And look, the marine heat wave that we experienced and noticed around September 24 was the biggest heat wave that we had seen in 40 years, raising the temperature by about 2.5 degrees. And that has significant ramifications for the marine ecosystem. So most definitely that heat wave would have been a catalysing agent for promoting the growth of and the proliferation of this algal species. And you're right, mate, it also has other implications for marine ecosystems. And we've seen evidence of this around the world where, tropical species are moving further south into areas that they wouldn't have been. For example, we're seeing snapper on the east coast of Tassie now. And that's a function of the fact that there's a warming up in the lower latitudes. So you're spot on there, Milo. And there's a couple of other things that we're considering as contributing factors to this algal bloom as well. And it's the amount of nutrients that have been in the water. That's a really important point. And also the amount of sunlight. And not only did we have the heat wave, but we had the drought conditions. So we had clear skies, a lot of sun. This species is particularly good at getting its energy from the sun and from nutrients, and grows very well when it's warm. So that's the mix of the environment that's pretty much given this species a real head start.
Thank you, Milo. Let's go to Gail. Gail, you've got Mike Steer on the line.
Yes, good morning, Mike. I just wanted to ask about the importance of mangroves and also, in estuaries, etc., because I'm aware that mangroves act sort of as a normalising or filtering for, I guess, nutrients or toxins. And I'm just wondering if that's been looked into as far as, different estuary areas, if there could be mangroves either planted or, preserved, because I'm aware that some areas, perhaps around St Kilda, there's been depletion of mangroves, and if that's kind of been looked into as a kind of a natural way of balancing the ecosystem.
Yeah, you're spot on there, Gail. There's quite a number of things that can happen that work towards restoring the natural environment. Over many years, there's been quite a lot of coastal utilisation for a number of different reasons, and for the habitat to be restored in a way that offers a greater level of resilience in terms of filtering the water, clearing the ecosystem, providing the associate nutrients that are healthy for the environment, and mangroves are a key function of that. Mangrove restoration would be one tool that we could use. Seagrass restoration is another one, and we've done that over many years through Metropolitan Adelaide in consultation with the Department of Environment and Water. And the other one is oyster reef restoration. So that's something that the government's committed to doing as well. All those things about trying to get our marine ecosystem back into a healthy state is clearly going to be beneficial for any of these longer-term climate-driven changes that we're seeing in the ecosystem.
Good question, Gail. Let's go to Happy Valley. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. My question relates to the possible translocation of this algae species via ballast water in ocean-going vessels. We've got grain vessels, cargo ships, etc., entering the Gulf, which may end up in areas like Fremantle, Port Phillip Bay, Sydney Harbour, and places like that. I think there's a real chance it could be translocated, and I'm really concerned that I haven't heard much about what's being done to prevent the translocation to other areas of Australia.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I don't think we need to worry about translocation on a species that's there anyway. It's always there. So we've got Karenia at relatively low levels throughout, most of southern Australia. It's a part of our ecosystem. And in terms of the risks of translocation with the ballast water, my understanding is they're under strict Commonwealth regulations to ensure that they sanitise and work with their ballast water programs appropriately. So look, and I understand your interest in it, but I don't see that as a significant risk.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Let's go to Redwood Park. Dave, you've got Mike Steer.
Yeah, g'day, Mike. A professional fisherman was telling me on Saturday that around the back of Kangaroo Island, he spotted carpets of salps gorging themselves on the algal bloom. Given their short breeding cycle and the vast amount of algae that they can actually consume in a very short period of time, have Saudi considered maybe actually placing some salps in some of the really badly affected areas?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, and most definitely we've seen in the past high densities of salps, particularly in relation to the cold upwelling that we have in the summer periods.
Sorry to jump in, Mike. I don't know what they are. What are salps?
They're like a jellyfish.
Okay.
So they float around and they eat copious amounts of plankton.
Yeah, right.
So they can effectively come through. Salp. Yeah.
S-A-L-P.
S-A-L-P. It's
yeah, right.
Like a jellyfish. And so what was the caller's name? I missed it.
It was Dave.
Yeah, so Dave's spot on that salps can come through and clean it up. In terms of undertaking a program, a breeding program for salps, and then introducing them, that's fraught with a lot of challenges, Dave. And it's something that we haven't looked in directly, but most definitely there is a link between changes in the ecosystem where another predator or another plankton can come over and increase its dominance and outcompete the algae. So we're hoping that at some stage nature will balance itself. But yeah, you're right, Dave. Salps do have a voracious appetite for algae.
Can I ask you a question, Mike? Is there any evidence that the amount of fertiliser, the amount of, you look at the Murray, the extent to which it's irrigated. I know that one of the three drivers of it, apart from the climate-driven increase in the temperature of the water, is one thing. Then there was the upwelling of water from below to above, but then a lot of it was the water that came into the system from the Murray River floods.
Yeah, so
Are we stuffing around too much with Mother Nature in terms of farming? Is there a chance the bloom's being fed by fertilisers and stuff?
Well, let's go back. There's probably two things we need to talk about here. And the first one is, yes, we've had three extraordinary environmental impacts over the past few years that are clearly a result of a changing climate. The Murray River flood was, injected a whole heap of nutrients into the system. People might remember the fact there was dead fish everywhere as a result of that flood with the carp. Then we had this exceptional upwelling system, which is a really important part of our ecosystem that pushed up a whole heap of nutrients. And then, as the previous caller mentioned, the heat wave was just the icing on the cake. So once that kicked it off and we had the ignition point around Fleurieu Peninsula, now it's worked itself into the Gulfs. Now, the Gulfs are pretty shallow. They're like a semi-enclosed water body. So what we think's happening is that the algae is being maintained by a level of nutrient input, which could be a whole range of different things through coastal runoff or whatever. It could be through dead material. We've seen a whole heap of dead fish as a consequence of this that is putting nutrients back into the system.
And who knows what percent of the dead fish we've seen are of the total number.
Yeah. So this is going back to the biology of the species, where it's incredibly versatile in where it gets its energy sources. So if it was just sunlight, then we'd probably be better ahead of the game. But the fact that it can get it from sunlight through photosynthesis and through nutrients, which could now be coming from different sources throughout the Gulf. And that goes back to that previous question around the habitat restoration. It's really important to now have an input on how do we sop up any of those excess nutrients, etc.
I know you don't like being asked to make predictions, Mike, because you said the only thing that's predictable about it is that it remains unpredictable. But do you think it's best that we get acquainted with the idea that we talk about the bloom not as something that is one day going to disappear, but rather as something that will ebb and flow like the tide in future?
Well, there's three things that can happen and that I think could happen. And this is based on our understanding of harmful algal blooms throughout the world. It could disappear in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks. The ecosystem can shift and it can just disappear. And fingers crossed that happens, right? The second thing is it can drop down and then re-emerge and persist through spring and summer. We know that heat it grows well in particularly warm waters, so it might persist into summer, spring. So that's the second scenario. And the third scenario is it could ramp up over that period, and we if we need to be responsibly prepared for that. There are situations where around the world, and I think of Russia was one, where there was a similar sort of bloom with the same sort of magnitude and same sort of impact. It had devastating consequences, disappeared, and they haven't seen it again.
Well, that'd be good. So, can we order that?
Oh, yeah. So I'll buy that one.
Yeah. that sounds... Well, that's good. There is hope there. Yeah. There is hope. Mike, that was great access, mate.
Really
thank you for coming in. Appreciate you.
Anytime you want to come in, mate.
Yeah, that was great answering our listeners' questions because they were many and varied.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, I'll throw in one bonus one. We got a text about this. Is it going to be safe to swim over summer? Is there any scenario in the world where there's been a bloom that got so bad that they actually shut beaches to swimming?
So that the health advice is if to stay away from discoloured and foamy water. That's it. There's no need to shut down beaches. But that's the advice that's out there.
So logic tells you wouldn't have been so cold and windy you wouldn't have wanted to anyway. But like last week you wouldn't go swimming at Henley. But if you're at Tennyson in January and it's clear as a bell, jump in.
But it makes sense. But even if we didn't have this harmful algal bloom and the water was dirty and foamy, you probably wouldn't jump in and swim anyway. But if anybody has any questions or wants more information, algalbloom.sa.gov.au is updated frequently.
Good on you, Mike. Thanks for coming in.
We really appreciate it. That was terrific. We might do that again sometime. Or let's hope we don't have to. It just disappears. How good would that be?
We talk about the footy.
Yeah, that'd be good too. Exactly. All right, let's check traffic. When we come back, speaking of footy, we're going to be announcing the winner of our most colourful Crows fan competition. Browse undercover in comfort for your certified pre-owned Toyota at the new Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Summerton Park.
Morning there at Keswick, a crash getting cleaned up. Richmond Road near Anzac Highway. Another collision at Clover Valley Park. Dawes Road near South Road. Clearview, Burstwater Main, Hampstead Road near Glenburnie Avenue. In the city, lights on the flash at the moment. Sturt Road at Whitmore Square. And quite busy at the moment, the Southern Expressway outbound near Majors Road. Got a camera right now, Aldershot Road at Lonsdale. South Australia is building for today and tomorrow. Find out what it means for you. Visit saisbuilding.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The Adelaide Crows have made it into the AFL Finals. And 5AA is your official final station. Don't miss a minute of this epic final series. As the Adelaide Crows set out to make history. AFL Finals on 5AA. Always passionate, always Adelaide.
What's on your bucket list? Cruising around the world? Doing a hot lap around Bathurst? Learning how to play drums? Before you plan a bucket list, plan your will with Donlan Lawyers. A will, power of attorney and advanced care directive speak for you when you can't. It means you and your loved ones will be taken care of. Visit donlanlawyers.com. Put it on your bucket list. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Do you suffer from indigestion after eating? Do you get an uncomfortable bloated feeling in your belly? Or even worse, terrible wind? Caruso's Bloaties contains peppermint and ginger, which are traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to relieve bloating, indigestion and wind. It also contains digestive enzymes to help your body digest lactose and fat. Caruso's Bloaties is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Life's a journey. As you grow older, every step should bring you more of what you want. And at ECH, they understand that. As one of SA's largest retirement living and home care providers, ECH offers more in every sense. More help at home, more support with your health, or the perfect new home to downsize to. ECH won't tell you where you should be, but they'll always support you to get more out of life. Visit ech.asn.au or call ECH today.
Right now at Formula Honda, drive away in the CR-V Hybrid 24 build from $56,900 or the Honda ZR-V Hybrid 24 build from $51,900. That's a price reduction of $3,000. Plus, get 8 years unlimited kilometre warranty and roadside assist across the entire SUV range. But you'd better hurry. These offers are only available until September 30. T's and C's apply. Test drive at Formula Honda today. Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond or North East Road, Modbury.
If your air conditioner is over 15 years old, it's costing you way too much to run. With today's technology on ducted and split systems, REQ Air Conditioning can reduce your running costs considerably with brands like Mitsubishi Electric, keeping your entire home at the perfect temperature all year round for less. Stay cool, stay warm, save money with REQ Air Conditioning and Energy Solutions. Google REQ Air Conditioning for a free in-home quote.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
5 to 9, our listeners online have had a lot of fun this morning looking at the pictures that our listeners have been sending through, nominating themselves and their loved ones as Adelaide's most colourful Crows fan. Just have a look on the live stream at the moment, Facebook and YouTube. This morning, we're looking for the most colourful Crows fan. Yesterday, we're looking for the smartest Crows fan. And the most colourful, we left up to you. There are people that sent through pictures of their rooms decorated with Crows gear, their offices.
I like the couple who, doing nothing to dispel the suggestion that Crows fans are Silvertails, they sent through a picture of their yacht that's been festooned in Crows livery.
We had our resident pilot with the Crows scarf on the front of a Boeing 777 that he was flying. It was excellent. I love this picture of the the kids that were in bed this morning and the parents wanting the Crows tickets decided to just dump all their Crows gear on them to wake them up. That was terrific. People's pets have been sent through with the gear that they've knitted or made them. They are terrific, but there could only be one winner. And we were really taken by this. And in fact, we saw it just a moment ago on the Facebook and YouTube live stream.
It's not just the dog; it's the architecture around the kennel. I mean, crikey, you got your Taj Mahal, you got your Sagrada Familia. That kennel, though, as far as buildings go, is an absolute work of art.
The winner of the Crows tickets and in the running to win the McGarry Room upgrade this week is Jill in Modbury Heights. Hey, Jill, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is amazing.
We love Taylor Walkies is the greatest entry we've seen. Your dog with the Taylor Walker jumper on. It's his 300th, of course, on Thursday night, and his house is an absolute work of art, Jill.
My son built that at school he did woodwork and that was his project. So he built that at school, and
he must have got a good mark, Jill. It's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But my dog now is Charlie Edwina Betsy.
Seriously?
So she was named after Charlie Cameron when he was part of the Crows, and, of course, Eddie Betts. But being a girl, Charlie Edwina Betsy.
Yeah. So what,
I tell you what, you'll be cheering on Charlie Edwards having a big career, Jill, because you've already got the dog named after him.
Yeah. We lost Taylor a few years ago, but she's still in our hearts.
Oh.
She's still in our hearts.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we got
dog.
Charlie, though. Yeah, she was. She was beautiful. Charlie's just as beautiful.
Yeah. And she was a golden retriever. I was trying to guess her breed when I saw the photo, so a Goldie.
Yeah, they're both golden retrievers, yeah.
Well, you've had better luck than us, because we named one of our dogs Patty after a certain bloke who now plays at Geelong. So at least you named your late dog Taylor after someone who's playing his 300th on Thursday night.
Well, I sent Taylor's picture into the footy show, and they put it on when Taylor had his mullet cut off. That was 70 years ago it was.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That when he did it for charity. That was about 10 years ago, probably.
Yeah, and they played. They showed the photo that I've sent you. So,
Jill, did you try and get tickets to the game?
We did. There was a lot of us trying. We've got 5 memberships, and we were trying. And my son was devastated. My nephew was absolutely devastated. Tex is his favourite player, and we were really devo. Like we couldn't get tickets.
So who are you taking along? Your son?
I don't know yet. I might let my son and my nephew go, because they're the ones that.
You're going to give the tickets away?
I'll give them to my son and my nephew.
Jill, that's so nice.
You are unbelievable. Wow, what a gesture.
Wow.
Hey, tickets couldn't have found a better home than Jill. Hopefully they get up for you and your son and your nephew. That's just beautiful. And congratulations to you with Taylor Walkies and Charlie Edwina, and just magnificent work. Hey, that's all from us on this Tuesday morning. Tomorrow, a new category of Crows fan that we're on the lookout for, more tickets and a chance to be upgraded to the McGarry Room.